Every frag, every moment. I run, but I never hide. With knowledge comes power, and power is to be wielded wisely. Which is why, as the expert, I bet with Betway. If you know CSGO, then you'll know the best way to bet on esports is with Betway, for the love of the game. Which is why, as the expert,
Intel Extreme Masters is brought to you in part by Intel, Vodafone, Acer Predator, Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, HyperX, Betway, and Pay Safeguard.
Mibr, they are legends of the game. They've been around forever. They have won a lot of tournaments, and now they're back to 5 of Brazilians. So they have this family thing in their team, and I think that's gonna take them back to where they belong.
Renegades, a team that really impressed everyone on this competition. It's a matchup that We have a lot of history playing against them. Some of encounters we lost, some of encounters we won, and both teams know each other pretty well, so it's going to be a very interesting match, but I have good hopes that we can take this and go to the semifinals.
We are just here to do our best, and if we can take it to the next step, everyone will be so excited.
I think our team is going to focus on playing a very solid game and being confident and don't underestimate them and not think too much. If you start thinking too much about their game, we might get trapped into their minds, and we don't want to do that. We just want to focus on playing our best, and that should be enough to beat them.
I've been playing in this tournament multiple times in Katowice, but I've never played in this Spodek. It looks so sick. So yeah, it's going to be amazing for sure.
In my first big experience was here at Spodek. It was a crazy one. I'll never forget that. I'm pretty sure the Polish fans will go loud and they will make a great show for everyone who loves Counter-Strike.
Vodafone presents the pre-match.
That was Fallen there, saying just how much people are going to be enjoying this one if they love Counter-Strike. Well, you know what is kind of what IEM Katowice 2019 has been delivering. If you love Counter-Strike, you are in the right place. We've got two fantastic quarterfinals to find out how the semis are going to look already. We've had our fair share of surprises, of course. ENCE managing to thrive, as did Na'Vi just yesterday. And some of those games, and some of those maps, definitely worth checking out after this one does conclude. But it's nearly game time. Once again, introducing my analyst. I'm your host, Alex Machine Richardson. I'm joined by none other than Pimp and Sean Gares. Guys, this is it. An interesting statement from JChem, other than the fact that I think they're going to get back to full strength, which was an interesting opinion from the Norwegian, is he went on a record actually in an interview today saying, I think Renegades saved my career. The guy's been performing so damn well, and he kind of just lay dormant for what felt like years.
This is a guy that has a lot of history within Counter-Strike, right? He was part of one of the first iterations of FaZe lineup. He was in Cluj-Napoca with them when they managed to get to the semifinal. He was actually the best playing player in that entire tournament. Everyone was thinking to themselves, all right, JChem, he's the new future star. For some reason, he didn't really live up to that dignity, and he went down flat, as you said. He got left out of FaZe. He didn't really find a new team. He was playing with some Norwegians. He was playing in Dignitas at a point as well, where they were not good at all. So he definitely had a bad period in his career. Now he's back, where he's performing well. He's in a major quarterfinal, and he's one of the star players for Renegades. So he definitely turned it around.
I will never forget that Cluj-Napoca event where he placed 3rd, 4th. He had so many impactful rounds where he was playing hyper-aggressive. He's really changed the way he plays now, because you don't see him have those hyper-aggressive rounds anymore. He's very calm and conservative, and he'll strike obviously when he needs to. But that tournament was incredible to watch.
Absolutely, and this hopefully will be too. Let's go ahead and put Renegades under the microscope once more.
Yeah, I joined a year ago. I think I joined the 10th of February, to be exact. It's a pretty cool storyline, I guess. I was about actually to quit the game, kind of giving up on the dream. And then they contacted me and asked if I wanted to play for them for 3 months, because they had another player that was supposed to come in as the 5th. So I was only going to play a couple of tournaments. And then we did pretty decent, and I think I played pretty good as well. So they offered me a full-time contract. And now I'm here, top 8. I traveled to America and lived in America. So the way it changed was kind of like, it was CS all the time. There was nothing else. My plan was the 3 months going to be CS all the time and see how it goes. So the mindset of me was, there was nothing else outside of the game that could take me anywhere else, if it makes sense, yeah. So that was kind of how they changed my mindset. Well, the comeback versus Australis was amazing. I think it's actually one of the sickest games I've ever been a part of.
They're just picking them apart piece by piece. JKS getting 1, finding 2, finding a 3rd. On the catwalk area, my goodness, nothing can be done. And the Renegades have upset Australis in map 1 of this series.
I think the things that changed was that we got in 2 new players with a lot of motivation that haven't been on the big stage before. So they were very hungry to prove that they're good enough to play on this level. It feels amazing. It really feels amazing to be on the big stage. I think everyone is really excited for it.
Vai ser jogão, tá, rapaziada? Só não sei se eu vou tomar strike, cara. Acho que não. Vai jogar agora, MBR vai jogar agora. Agorinha.
Well,
Poucos
you
minutos.
see Kassad there, usually a stalwart man, hard to crack a smile, but his emotions are rubbing off on
Vai
me.
ser jogão,
It's just
mano.
testament
O
to
bagulho
how
vai ser
hard they
doido,
worked for it. I
rapaziada.
think that was the conversation that we heard often in the Challenger stages, how much work they put into this event.
Eu acho que eu não vou tomar strike, porque senão eu já tinha tomado, entendeu? Não, eu já tinha tomado. Eu não tô colocando a narração, Fabiano, porque vem gringo, às vezes tem gringo que vai começar a olhar a live, e muita gente que já gosta de jogar o jogo, já gosta de ouvir a narração gringa, que dá mais emoção, entendeu? Por isso que eu não coloco muitos BR.
Why is everyone saying Renegades have got such a deep
Tamo
map
junto,
pool? And of
Topzera.
course,
Tamo junto, Fabiano.
what can they play and what are we not expecting to see?
I mean, it's because they can play six
Mas vamos
maps, I
ver
would
se
say,
vai
to
dar
a
ruim,
high
velho.
level.
Porque,
It's not
tipo,
necessarily that
a
they
live
seven
pode
maps,
fechar
but
de
the
uma
six
hora
maps
pra
they
outra.
do
Eu posso
play,
tomar
they
um
can
strike
pretty much
aqui
beat
bolado,
anyone if they have
entendeu?
a good day, which is not something you can say about a lot of teams,
What about
especially
Mibr?
not considering that.
Vamos ver o que vai dar.
I mean, we don't really know it yet. We have
Beleza,
to
rapaziada? Vamos
get
lá.
much more smart after we see the video, but I do think that MIBR is coming in prepared to this one as well. They've been boot camping, they've been expanding their map pool, and they definitely have something in the stones for us.
With that being said, MIBR is such a new lineup. I think it's virtually impossible for them to have a 6-map rotation in the way Renegades does. Renegades has that from that 8 weeks of boot camping, where they only don't play Overpass, and the one map we haven't seen them play, Train, was previously their best map.
Yeah, these guys are full on their way to applying for Polish citizenship. They've spent their entire 2019 in Katowice, but the grind is definitely being rewarded. They picked up best of 3s versus Vitality. Hence, they beat FaZe in a best of 1 on this very map, Inferno, and we're going to be seeing those maps come in now. So an Overpass ban, I'll let you guys jump in.
Overpass ban, we're going to see Cash probably gone out of the way as well from MIBR. I don't think that's a map they want to play. Now, that said, what do you pick if you're Renegades in this one?
Now, if you're Renegades, obviously you can
nuke, so
you can pick a lot of different ways. You could pick Cash, you can pick Mirage, you can pick Inferno, you could pick Train. You can test, whatever map you want. Now, that's kind of surprising them picking Dust 2 because I actually thought MIBR was going to pick Dust 2 in this video, and the reason being is because at the last Face It Major, they told us that they were one of the best Dust 2 teams in the world. Now, we haven't seen this iteration of MIBR play Dust 2, but I would imagine Fallen still has that same confidence.
I would imagine so. I mean, imagine their double AWP. Their CT side, I'm pretty scared of going towards Fallen or Coldzera. I mean, it's an intriguing one. Where do we end up, though? So Train second. What's our third? I mean, we can keep going with this one. There's no need to slow it down. Give us the rest.
Train is definitely a map that both of these teams are extremely strong on. Obviously, Fallen is a god at Train, so we know that MIBR is there. We haven't seen Renegades yet this event, but like I said, that was their best map coming into the major, and there's a reason why teams have been vetoing it against them.
I think MIBR is very happy considering the veto, how it played out right now. Renegades have literally picked into MIBR and their Dust 2, which is, as you said, they went back on record saying that they were one of the best teams on Dust 2, at least in practice, but they didn't really get to play it. Now, coming into
quarta
this
de
tournament,
final
they haven't played Dust 2 in an
Tequinho.
official matchup with this lineup, so we don't know what to
vai
expect
ser
from
sinistro,
MIBR,
mano.
but them leaving
Eu
in the
espero
map
que
must suggest that they
a
can play it to
MIBR
a high
passe,
level.
né, mano?
Then you move on to
Só
Train,
que a
which is a map
Renegades
that
tá
beat
vindo
NIP on
destruindo
16-6
tudo,
in a
mano.
very dominant fashion, and on the third map you have a Mirage, which is a map they haven't lost with this lineup. So all 3 maps right now is maps MIBR can win. They
Os
are
caras estão
super
destruindo
happy about
tudo,
this video.
parceiro.
Well, you know, Renegades, they like to
tá
come
doido.
back, don't they? Let's not forget that deficit versus Astralis. They've given MIBR a satisfying map pool, and we are going to be getting this show started. Let's go head over into the Spodek and start day 2 of the champion stage here at the Katowice Major.
Fans from around the world have gathered in the legendary Spodek Arena. Here in Katowice, only the best of the best compete to make history. Players that have poured their heart and soul into the game will become immortalized. The Major is the true leveling ground of CSGO. It is prestige that is being played for. It is the top of the Counter-Strike world. This isn't just the Intel Extreme Masters. This is the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice 2019 Major Championship.
Oh my word! Here we are, day 2 of the Intel Extreme Masters 2019. Who's ready? I love this place, the Spodek, the house that esports built. And I wasn't here yesterday, but I watched. My mouth wet watching what went on in this building, from that amazing speech that Carmack did through to watching ENCE do something we didn't think would happen. Who's ready for day 2? I said, who's ready for day 2? Because we are playing off for this trophy and the lion's share of $1 million. 2 quarterfinals today, 2 best of 3s. We will see on this stage later on. Any fans of NIP? Any fans of Astralis? Okay, but right now it is time for our first quarterfinal. Are you ready? No. Are you ready? Are you ready? Please welcome the Renegades! The biggest stage they have been on, they are ready to go one step further and make it to a semi-finals, but in their way, the team that has the old band back together. Please welcome to the stage, Mibr! It's time to rumble, baby, and it's time for you to tell me who's winning this. Is it going to be Renegades? Is it going to be Mibr? One more time. Is it Renegades? Is it Mibr? Let's get it on!
Bagulho vai ser doido, pai. Bagulho vai ser doido, rapaziada. Vai dar ruim, rapaziada. Vamos lá. Deixa eu mutar aqui que vocês vão ouvir eu gritando com força.
To the pressures that this stage and a crowd like that bring. On the other side, Gratisfaction, I saw a smile creeping onto his face. The 22-year-old from New Zealand. He's a long way from home, and this is the biggest stage. His first major. He's walked out, and now he's got to beat the Goliath that is Mibr.
You know, Alex, before this major started, I would have said, yeah, this stage is going to shrink Renegades big time. But after watching what ENCE did yesterday, I don't think it matters. I think these players are so in the zone. They're so prepared at this point. They have their game plan set, and the crowd won't really affect them. Now, the crowd it can humble you, obviously, And if you're losing, it could be the turning point, obviously.
I think it's a fair concern to raise at least Gratisfaction. First time on a big stage, and what a stage it is. It's one of the biggest in the entire world of Counter-Strike. So him having a vital role within Renegades, right? Being the AVP player, going up against a guy like Fallen, he needs to keep his cool if Renegades wants any chance of winning this series.
And have you seen the AWPing stats for Renegades? It is so locked on Gratisfaction. I think there was one other AWP kill on Azza, likely picked it up and accidentally no-scoped someone, but either way, they are dedicated to seeing what the New Zealander can do on that AWP. And on Dust 2, that's our first map, fellas. Let's start thinking caps on. Renegades have clearly been preparing something special for this.
Yeah, when I originally saw Renegades play against Vitality, I didn't think they would be prepared on Dust 2. They dismantled Vitality, though, and a large reason being is because I think JKS and Jacob at the B bomb site are such a solid duo. Now, I do think their A bomb site is
então,
a little
rapaziada,
bit
tá tudo certo aí, som. Deixa eu dar uma olhada aqui, velho. Que talvez pode estar o som pode estar ruim, alguma coisa.
It's gonna be super interesting. Dust 2 is one of those maps where you can put on a very fast pace if you're on the T side, and especially if you're MIBR. You have guys like Fur, you have a Fallen who can be very aggressive with the AVP, Phelps as well for that matter. There's a lot of pressure that can be applied to this defense, so this will be a test of times for the Renegades.
And we're gonna see MIBR start on the CT side where Fallen is gonna have that option. He's gonna be really aggressive. Renegades has the lowest win percent of when they're 4v5 on T side so far. So if Fallen gets those opening picks, it could be GG early.
Well, they call it a team, right? They're a team that you have to beat. You can't beat the individuals. I guess that stat is testament to it.
For sure, and adding on to that stat, MIBR is currently the 5th highest rated team within this major at playing from ahead, playing those 5 versus 4 situations. So you cannot give up those first frags if you're Renegades. You gotta stay alive, you gotta play as a team, and you gotta make sure you don't give anything to MIBR before you attack the bomb sites.
Yeah, and something I will say to look out for from Renegades is their pistol rounds. They have had some of the most innovative pistol rounds I have ever seen a team bring to a major, and I doubt we're going to see anything different because they've clearly prepared for so far.
We saw ridiculous pistol rounds from Flamey yesterday. I'm hoping for more history to be written today. MIBR are taking on Renegades, and if you catch a play you want to see, do be sure to submit it. It is the Mountain Dew AMP Game Fuel Power Plays. Be sure to submit them with the hashtag there on your screens, and let us know which plays you want to be seeing as we are about to be jumping in. The first map does too. The curveball from the Aussies, and MIBR stand on the other part of the stage. The Spodek, it starts to prepare. I see the map. That means just one thing. Spodek, if you can hear me, I want to hear you roar. It's time for some Counter-Strike. Henry, Sadekist, it's time to bring the noise.
It certainly is, Alex. Here we go, another quarterfinal, and my God, I am excited. It's MIBR looking to reclaim glory of days gone by, and Renegades, Matt, looking to steal the hearts after stealing away our playoff spot here. No one expected them to make it this far. They're looking very good indeed.
Appropriate that they're named the Renegades because they're one of the 2 outliers in this playoff. The other is Ents, and they've already stepped up massively to take out Liquid. Can Renegades replicate? Can they come up with a similar result? That's the hard task against MIBR. Dust 2, interesting choice, wide open. MIBR's history on it is a bit up and down, a bit tumultuous, but they've certainly been working on it. And Cold, he's working on this position behind the new car. Unsighted so far as he wants to hold off on long. It's Jacob and Leaz that'll go back bomb, was over toward B the whole time. Keep that in the back of your mind because they'll certainly play in that direction once they sell on A.
We've seen Renegades drop these smokes towards long before in Dust 2. They committed with 5 players before. You can see the bombs actually heading towards B. This is a bit of a bait and switch going on right now. They're demonstrating pistol strategies they've actually deployed before, and now they make their way towards B. And Taco is alone. He's taken a headshot, and now it's down to Fur to defend.
Worked out perfectly. Fur had already rotated off. He tries to get back through the door. Fallen. He's on the window. Bomb's not yet planted, so they've got to hurry it up because Fallen, JKS was down below. He got him, but he couldn't find the planter. He couldn't follow it up to take out Leaz. If he peeked a little further, Jacob was actually occupied. He might have been able to deny it, but nonetheless, it's Renegades with 3 players, 2 very weak at this point, holding off inside of the site in the tunnels. Phelps is already clearing them, so they'll have both approaches toward the site. They're buying time. They've got it as well because Fallen, he's got the kit to work with. Jacob starts it off, tries to play the box to perfection inside closet. Fur and Cold get it all done.
And like we said, Renegades trying to bait out a strategy they've already deployed here at the Major. The long take with the 2 smokes to CD spawn before they committed all 5 players up. That was very successful. Maybe overthinking a little bit there, going towards B. Yes, they get the plant down, but it was scrappy. As you can see, players jumping through the window, finding unsuspecting T's on the other side, and a classic retake from MIBR. They're always so patient, they're always so methodical in those sort of situations as they wait for the perfect opportunity, go in together and make it very uncomfortable indeed. Bomb gets planted, and it looks like we are spending some money on the Renegade side. Jacob, at least, has got Deagle and armor. He managed to get a couple of frags before. He's still got around $2,000, so that's absolutely fine. And I'll see what kind of damage they can cause here. Ideally heading towards short and opting for that plant, but it's going to be a very difficult one for them. We'll see if it's even going to be possible here as they hold with 4 flashbangs, and the CTs just dropping their initial utility to fend off any fast approaches here.
Phelps redeploy a smoke at the long door. Meanwhile, Jacob, quick peek through with a flash to use the Deagle to get in position, just to check and see if anyone's near enough to the doors, and that will confirm no one is. The importance of that, even though they don't push through, is that they clear it to know that no one will be able to quickly flank in behind them on Catwalk, which is where it looks they intend to go. All 5, in fact, at this point in time. So this will be a fast play. Cold, remember, is holding toward Goose. Fallen at Car this time. Cold has MP9. That means if he lets him get close enough to the site, to the boxes, he'll be able to play them. And Fallen, he's got a scope on the AUG, and that's worked out lovely so far. Finds one. Gratisfaction, though, turns it back. Cold goes early. That's why the range doesn't work with the MP9. He didn't need to do that. He went because Fallen went down so soon that Phelps was far away. He thought he had to force the issue. They may have given away the round on the back of it.
Absolutely true. It's now down to the 3 versus 2. Fur has a rifle. It's Taco, the MP9. And Fur doing fantastic work there. He brings it back to a winnable situation. You can see Liaz on 2 HP. He won't be lasting very long here, but can they fend off the CTs that are coming in very slowly indeed? Fur is just a silent killer here, going for the jump kill. It looks like MIBR have done enough, but it's an expensive round for them. The bomb goes down either way. That's fantastic news to Renegades, as they will lose the round, but they're going to have so much money going forward. Certainly going to bring out the AWP in the hands of Gratisfaction. And now MIBR on the back foot, losing 3 players there. Way too expensive for them. The flashes looked excellent. I thought the MP9 would be able to get at least a couple of kills, but just the one, and the bomb goes down.
Bomb going down as well, though, is pretty massive. 2 rounds in a row. So despite that they forced up with the Deagles and the armor, now they can do it again. And Gratisfaction already brings out the AWP. This is going to be huge for them.
Yeah, you can see MIBR is plugging holes at this point. It's going to be Fallen on the UMP. No AWP for him. Gratisfaction will be aware of that fact. A classic boost here on Dust 2, looking towards short, trying to catch anyone who's making their way up towards that position quickly. The slow default, though, from Renegade so far. They know they have the advantage in terms of manpower, as we'll see Jacob make his way towards lower. Could smoke the Xbox, but looks to Molotov in front of the doors. That's actually going to be very frustrating for MIBR. They're going to have to fall back off this one. And that boost is shut down. Lovely work from Jacob.
Just Fallen in retreats. Cold still holding out on the catwalk. He's got position behind from Phelps as well. It's not really a bait position. They're both looking over. They're all blind. Gratisfaction actually hit that with the AWP. So he slid out quickly. Just in behind the corner, he held his vision, the rest could not, so he had to go aggressive. The rifles couldn't hold the angle instead as Liaz finds Taco. Grat will go back. He's got position to mid. If he holds this as well, they can't rotate back across, so Bomb could rotate all the way around. They won't know as to what's inside of B, though, to make that an affirmative move. They are getting MIBR caught in a bit of a rotation, though, because back toward A, Furs anticipated that they backed off. They have. It's gone around so long instead, though.
Renegades got a fantastic T-set on Dust 2. We saw it in the opening sector of this tournament. We were very impressed, and so far, so good in the first gun round here. Fur doing significant damage as they crossed over, but not enough to find a frag. It's up to Phelps, really, to try and salvage the round, but I don't think the CTs are up for this one. They are going to be saving their rifles and picking up whatever's there on the floor. It is going to be Renegades running the default there. Jacob with a nice Molotov to shut down that boost. As soon as he gets that kill, you can see it all falling apart for the Brazilians, and Jacob's not done just yet. He is hunting towards the tunnels. Fires off the AK. That's going to at least tell Phelps as a player nearby. But holding onto these weapons, absolutely necessary here. Fur can drop another if they want to buy up going forward. Phelps can't, but he could get a UMP out, for example, but we'll see whether they want to force this. It's very early on in this best of 3. Might not be required just yet. 2 orgs to save at this stage, as they've got the incendiary, the flashbang, and the HE as well. The Renegades certainly picking up their first round now, as you'll see at the back of the B side. And it's not like Renegades don't want to hunt it, they haven't necessarily got the bankroll to justify losing a couple of kills when you don't know where the CTs are. So do they buy up into this?
Yes.
They do. The orb's coming out.
Yep, Fur dropped it over. He's the reason that they've got it in play. 2-1, I mean, 2 bomb plants. You lose the pistol on a retake, you lose the second round despite getting kills down without weapons. 2 bomb plants suggests that they're certainly in this game at this point. 3 rounds that they've had success, but only one of them converts to the score. There's Gratisfaction once again will hold off toward the mid doors, smoke down deep, waiting for the cross as well. Fur let them go, but as always, it's a race to long. A race that's won, you could argue, by the T's, because despite that it's a 1-for-1 trade, they force off Phelps and Fallen. They go back and they'll actually get boosted toward Catwalk, and they get pit, so they've actually won the battle for map control.
Well, ideally, they want to get their AWP set up there and maybe go back towards short. And that's what Fallen is aware of here. So he's trying to reclaim territory towards this part of the map. He is joined by the AUG as well. So trying to play off each other at this stage, or allowing the T's to have long and hoping they won't be pincered at the same time. Here comes Jacob, though. He'll be aware of the prospect of this, as they've still got plenty of time. 1 minute 10 on the clock as he starts to make his way towards short, but he needs to be careful. He can't go down by himself. Actually joins his teammates here, so we might just see the kind of pistol approach we had before. The 2 smokes a crossover and try and get up together here. As Fallen does throw a smoke towards the corner just to block some vision here, make things a little bit more uncomfortable. But looks like Renegades are happy just to wait it out, and they're gonna just delay things for 20 seconds or so, and they'll commit towards long after that. And they can't really go anywhere else at this point, Matt. Time's ticking away. They have no map control. They're gonna have to commit to this position.
Fallen absolutely ready for it. Odd spot to be in. Smoke down's gonna force him off the angle. He now has to play aggressively from quad to try and swing back out. Gandalf, it's affectionately known. Bomb's getting in position. Fallen hasn't swung out yet. He could now. Bomb's in the open. Not denied. He tagged Gratisfaction. That got him off the plant, but he still gets in behind the box. And over more! He actually got Gratisfaction through the box, and Phelps saves his life in the exact second that he was being counter-peaked. Jacob's got to try and get this down. 6 seconds. It's all they have to work with on the Renegade side. And JKS, they've turned it, but it's all onto Jacob. All to do. They know exactly where he is. That's not hard to figure out, but they have to play it correctly. They have to play this perfectly off of each other, and they're splitting up. That's not really a trade. Potential. The AK's got 1. He can reset. Fur's going to try and walk up. He gets there before the reload, and MIBR find round 3.
What a great round of CS that was. A tug of war. It didn't look like Fallen had the position there to shut down the plant. He tags the player who actually went for the initial C4 in the open there, and then goes to the wall bank to deny everything. Nice pounds from his teammates there, and you're right, that 2 versus 1, it could have fallen apart. Not exactly playing off each other here. There's the initial shot, then the wall bank to close it out as well. Great work from Fallen, as Phelps, as you mentioned, saved his life as Azza was on his way to reply very quickly indeed. It's round 5, and Renegades have another buy in the bag here. They get the AKs out, they have the AWP as well. But this is a very important round for both teams. Whoever loses this will be down to an eco. Renegades need to start posting some rounds on the T side, as they'll head towards the B tunnel. It's actually 3 players there for now, but the bomb's in T spawn. So it's just up to Gratisfaction trying to work a pick here. He still has vision while the incendiary's down, so seeing if anyone will challenge him, but that's going to delay things. Smoke there now, and Taco with 3-man boost coming in.
You slide, remember, in a 3-man. This isn't easy to do with an AWP. Pretty much have to flick perfectly. Oh, they had the chance at it.
It's a nice idea.
Be brilliant if it paid off. We know Renegades are no stranger to trying interesting boosts. They were one of the first. I won't say I think it was a Brazilian team that did it before them, but the boost at Heaven on Cash as well to see out the smokes. And they've done the 4-man non-overpass that everyone's brought into fashion lately.
It's a lot of fun, and so is that Fallen. My God. Quick as you like. He'll take down Jacob, and he's baiting his rival teammate as well. That's going to be Phelps just beneath of the AUG there. So this is where he can go for the double kill, but Gratisfaction pretty handy up close. Not quick enough, my friend. And it'll be a 4 versus 2. Phelps with fantastic positioning there. He's playing off his sniper. They have no idea. And it's up to Liaz and JKS now to recover the situation.
It's not a foregone conclusion, though, because they Molotov'd him back, which means they can recover the bomb. And the other 3 players from MIBR are over toward B. So they've had to regroup, reposition. Fur covers off the door so that they can't go backwards, and Cold gets in towards CT. But even that's a very condemning position, because if he finds Phelps on the site fast enough and Cold's not on an angle in which he can trade back, they can get a plant off of this. So Cold, naturally, starts to work up closer, puts out a nade. Now things should be under control. Just JKS in a 1-on-4, and it looks like Mibr will find.
Wait for it.
Exactly that for rounds. You're right. He has evaded them. Smoke down in CT. Taco's going to push through, though. That foils all plans.
Mibr 4, Renegades 1. As that T side not looking as spectacular as we saw earlier in the tournament, but Fallen, he is alive and well. Phelps, great work here, managing to fend off that shot towards short as well. Picks up the AWP of Fallen. Not only does it carry it forward to the next round, but obviously finding a kill there when he's on low HP. It all works out very nicely, and Mibr can take a sigh of relief now because they've got to know this is going to be an eco now for Renegades. They've planted plenty of bombs, but they've lost a few rounds in a row now as they'll take a timeout, their first one of this half. As Phelps 5-3, one of the returning players to the roster. Kassad has been celebrated throughout this tournament for his passion and hard work. These guys have been in Katowice for a long time. A lot of boot camp, and it's paying off. This is the deepest run any Renegades lineup's ever made.
Jogão, rapaziada, jogão.
Hard for them to even attain legend status in the past. They've now made it, or I should say top 16 status in the past. They've had to go through qualifiers. It's not quite the way that it used to be in that format. Remember, it was only 16 teams at a major. Now they get Legends top 8. They're invited back next time no matter what. They avoid the minor, which is, for them, traveling from North America back over to Australia. That's a big task, and it's forced them to miss events in the past because of it.
Absolutely. Well, it's just Glocks for now. One flashbang. I guess just flash over middle and see if you can swarm towards B. That's about as exciting as this round will get. CT's very passive. They've got lovely crossfire towards B. That's going to be Cold Zera working with Fur. And Cold Zero, the MP9. It's going to be baited in from the window. So Fur will go for the initial kill, but they're actually going to be working their way up towards short. Again, going for that plant, and they'll probably get it. It's Fallen with the AWP. He's probably good for 2 kills here, but there's no way he gets more than that. So first one comes in. We'll see the second, but he has to keep falling back, and he actually misses that. So that's the bomb going down now.
6 in one, half dozen the other. It wasn't quite a miss, but it's not a kill. He did tag Leia's down to 20 HP, but you're right, absolutely right. Bomb down, Cold swings in under CT. They'll try and rotate as well. Fur, he'll go out toward Catwalk so that they pinch them off, but he's going to face 3 players, and he's alone. If he drops this gun, they then have that in the post plane. He's got to be very careful. At least he's buying time so they can take over the site directly, and it seems he's capable of all 3.
Well, there it is. The eco does yield a bomb plant, but that's about it. 5 players survive on the Mibr side, but that was about what it was worth, to be honest. A nice call to get towards short. One flash. Poke Fallen isn't absolutely perfect. You're right, he hits both shots there, but luckily for the Renegades, one of them was just a tag. But he clean sweeps the short area. It's going to be round 7 here. All power for Gratis faction, who currently has 3 kills and 5 deaths. His rival Fallen on 5 and 4 deaths. So we get into the next round here. As Renegades looking their usual selves here on Dust 2. As Fallen once said in an interview at the last major, he feels like Dust 2 is one of their best maps. We're yet to see this lineup really show us what they're capable of on it. This is looking very good for them. As we go back to a default here for Renegades, they look likely to head towards shore once again as the Xbox smoke down. Not yet, but there's plenty of time for that. No one in the B tunnels, but flash towards the mid doors as Jacob looks for the first pick here. You can see Mibr actually focusing 3 players right inside that B bomb side there, and putting a lot of pressure towards that long area, which will be held right now by Fallen and Phelps.
There's been so much pressure there in the past as well. We've already seen 2 or 3 rounds where it's been the battle. But this time, Fallen holding it isn't going to see anyone at all. And back to guns, it's back to Catwalk. Just to note, differences from yesterday. We pointed it out a number of times for FaZe. Mibr, 4 Augs. They're on board with the meta.
Yeah, absolutely.
Molotov's down. This will be a forced retake. No chance. The JKS is even lurking. This could be an even bigger problem for them.
This is what Mibr do best, though. They're happy for this plant to go down. If they've got 5 players up, they know they can win these rounds. They have 1 smoke, some flashbangs here, and the retake begins. Can they make this work? It looks almost impossible to me, but they always prove me wrong.
Cold seems to have an idea that if they got up Cat so cleanly, is JKS going to lurk? This is demo review. They know exactly what's going on. Cold's gone a little bit early, though, and JKS, oh, he could strike so well. He gets in behind them. He's turned around. Fur caught him off and on the ramp. Meanwhile, Gratisfaction, he recovers. Cold, he tries to push all the way in. Fallen, the only one left alive. 1 on 2, and nothing at all to be done at this point in time. He's got to concede. It'll go 5-2.
Well, there we have it. Renegades with a default towards short, and Mibr A little bit of a gamble there set up. 3 towards B and 2 along as well. Obviously leave the short area completely open. Renegades help themselves to it. It's one of the most common approaches on this map on the T side. If you can get that bomb down, especially if 5 players alive as well, you'll do well to lose it. Nice little flank from JKS, and Gratisfaction continues to show us why he's considered such a fantastic AWPer at this event. Yeah, his aim seems pretty on point today as well. It's going to be 5-2, but they need to avoid the reset here. Everyone pretty much fully invested on both teams. Once more, this will lead to an eco, but Taco picks up the secondary orb. Not Coldzera this time, as Gratisfaction looks for anyone challenging towards middle. Aware of that smoke and challenges from the back wall. They're only going to send 1 player towards B this time. That will be Fur. So a change of setup here for the Brazilians, as they send most of their troops towards the A side of the map.
Again, long is the battle, but it's not going to be the AWP there this time. Trying to slay slightly unpredictable, shall we say, with the AWP. Flash in, they look away. Around the corner, are they ready for the crossfire? Perfectly established, but not quite for the kills. It hasn't worked. It almost does. I take it back because he did a massive amount of damage on a Gratisfaction. I was going to say that has not worked out as they intended, but still they come out with it.
Yeah, it's really well played from Coldzera there, but JKS isn't going down without a fight. It's now a 2-on-2, and the HP is not a factor. Look at the setup on the CT side. Both of them are AWPs, so JKS and Grat actually have a chance here, but they're not together right now. It's Gratisfaction with the bomb in the pick currently. Plenty of time available, and the CTs actually holding position, both of them focusing towards the A sites. And it will be up to Taco now to try and deny this pick from Gratisfaction. He's in a bit of an off angle here. It's not one you pre-fire, but let's see if he has the awareness to find this first pick. Fallen will miss.
Gratisfaction won't. 7 HP. Fallen's blind. They might get him now. He's back out in the open, but he's missed the shot. Gratisfaction, a 3rd kill on 7 HP.
Wow, what a round that was. Comes down to the absolute minutiae there. It's Fallen, who looked like, even though he's fully blind, he was going to pull that one off. But he misses the all-important shot, and like you said, Gratisfaction doesn't miss much at all there. Great flashback. You can see how chaotic it gets to this point. There's the missed shot, but it won't be a round victory for MIBR. It's going to go 5-3. Renegades starting to wake up now. They've actually got the Brazilians down to a pretty much full eco of Desert Eagles coming through and a couple of USPs to boot. Not really much you can do about this. It's a long take, and you'll see a lot of this on Dust too. It's as it opens things up, and JKS through the smoke will assist him. Looks like the round is already complete. His Gratisfaction looks for rotations here. The lack of utility means he can get good information to his teammates rotating. And now they can hold up. The job has already been done, to be honest. They don't have to overcommit here. They can wait for the reactions. Jacob watching for the flanks from the B tunnels. 3 towards long. Let us bide their time here and make sure they always have trade potential.
Hazard does get in behind, but too long to find the first kill. He was inevitably going to be traded. And so too gets traded back. JKS, now things starting to work out. 5-4. Dust 2. Again, open for interpretation as to which side you prefer to play. I'll let that be up to the preference of each in their own. But it is, in this round and in this level, pretty even. And so too, every team pretty capable on it because it's in some ways the least tactical. I know that there's a debate for that, but in some ways it is.
It's just because most teams will deploy the same strategies. Like, the playbooks will be very similar across the board, but still, it's a very skilled map. It's down to who's performing on the day. And we'll see whether Fur and Co with this boost once again will actually be able to get the first kill. It works out for them, and it will be a 5-on-3 very quickly. Renegades trying to show aggression and speed towards shore, but it hasn't worked out this time. JKS looking to pick up pieces towards middle, but they will smoke. Think better of it. Go back to a more defensive position to deploy the smoke towards CT spawn. AWP Gratisfaction has been fantastic so far, as Fallen will fire off some bullets towards middle and try and push them towards shore.
Rat gets back up again on the AWP. Cold's already backed off of it. M4 for Fur only this time. I say only. Speaks to the state of things, but 3 players at long to go against 1 of Leas. He is out already and around the corner, so off angle, covering toward the dumpster, but a brilliant flash. No chance at all
a fragging unit. One flashbang over, 3 CTs run around. No chance at all here for Renegades as they'll do what they can. JKS down to 2 HP in a 4 versus 1, but that ends very quickly indeed. I'm loving the pace of this game. It's Renegades that are trying to force the issue at multiple choke points of the map. They've had fast approaches towards long, B short now, and that one was actually completely disastrous for them. The fact that MIBR had that boost, we saw them attempted in the second round. This time, it works perfectly as they get the initial kill and a second. And at that point, Renegades trying to get anything going in their favor, but nowhere near a bomb plant. But they will have enough for another buy here, but there are a couple of compromises. It'll be Azza down to just a CZ, but that'll be fine. He can make it work around his teammates. As they nade towards long here, no one to receive them. It's another defensive hold from Renegades. They set up smokes and flashbangs towards middle.
CZ to hold. Grat has to open this up again. Gratis faction on the AWP to hold. To mid doors, fire in. Top goes back the other way. Nades as well. Any damage will do. It's not like it does much, to be fair. I'm still down out toward long. Phelps is the only one in that position from a CT perspective. He gets inside of the pit. Renegades haven't changed a whole lot. They've not gone B, aside from the pistol. Oh, when they opened it up, falling, big miss. That's the op getting a kill with the gun. It stayed, it did stay up. Double up T-side, not really ideal, but it's better than running pistols to go along with it, so they'll get one further in their arsenal. And Cold, he's now fully aware of the fact that they're trying to hold it. Phelps, good position, shadow position, remember that as well. He is, I don't even think he's going to go this way, though, because he has the bomb. He can't afford to go alone.
Yeah, absolutely right. He has to join his teammates here. If he dies, the round's over, and he knows it. Ideally, they pin to the A side, but they don't have to. Fallen there. A little bit odd he didn't drop off. I think he wanted to get a flashbang or a Molotov in before he dropped down, but it cost him his life. Now 30 seconds remaining. This will be an A execution to finish things off here. Renegades ready to deploy up. Could be a bit of a ruse though. Looking to head back towards B potentially here. There's still 2 CTs waiting for them. 20 seconds now, and Cold Zera seems to be aware of it. Will give the information to his teammates, and in they go for the doors and the window.
Taco waits below it though. Taco waits below it and he holds! Oh, he gets a 4th as well as JKS goes down on the bomb. It's up on top of the box. Phelps is going to wrap it around. Taco's not going to get the ace, but it doesn't matter because they've got the round and Phelps confirms it.
Well, there it is. He's always been a solid anchor in CSGO, but Taco goes above and beyond for his teammates there. It's the Orc beneath the window, and my God, does he do some serious damage here. 4 kills in total, and he didn't even break a sweat there. Superb from Taco. Renegades, nice call, A fake. Looked like it was going to be successful. So much manpower towards that window area, but Taco was ready for it. Good comms from the Brazilians there, and it's going to be another eco for Renegades now, as they are down 7-4. Nothing really invested into this round. A few deagles and a P250. That's about it with the 1 flashbang available to them. This will be a struggle now. We've only seen Renegades a couple of times on Dust 2, and it's their T sides that have been so heroic for them.
Just to note, Azza's not been able to get anything going at all this game.
Yeah, he's 1 in 10 right now, I believe. So he's been having a fantastic tournament. Needs to pull his stocks up here, but MIBR aware of the situation. This could be holding up in a very defensive formation. You can see Cold Zera towards Goose. He'll be playing off Fallen. He wants Fallen to take all the aggro for him, take a couple of shots, and he'll swing out late just when they commit to the plant.
Only gets the first, even with vision slightly hindered. And Cole, this time, unlike the MP9, he's got a little more range, so he takes the fight early. That's quite acrobatic. It's 2 for diving on Azur. It's Phelps to close out the round, 8-4.
There it is. This time they do deny the plant. That's a perfect anti-eco setup there. Renegades might want to take a timeout. They're averaging around $4,500 each. Not really enough to get the AWP out. Not really enough for a full buy in general. They will commit to it, but they're going to have to discuss their options here. And MIBR know they have the advantage
aí,
now.
rapaziada, aquela jogada do Taco lá foi sinistra, mano. Lá na B, mano. Foi sinistra, mano. Algo tá comendo soco. Vamos dar um salve pra geral. Vamos dar um salve pra geral, velho. Tamo junto, rapaziada. Vamos nessa. Tá doido.
That's someone that you have to talk about as well. We saw Dead, there was a shot earlier. He's sitting with the families of MIBR in the crowd. He used to stand behind them, more of a moral coach in any sort of capacity, where Zeus is very tactical, and he's won 2 majors with the core of this lineup. That's part of the reason they brought him back.
What a nade that was, just to shut it all down. So 5 AKs indeed. So enough for a default here. They've got the majority of their utility. Do need to see more in the firepower department, though. It's Taco. He will be waiting at the mouth of the B bomb side there, with the AWP looking to steal away a kill and then fall back, if he can. B split potential here, but no one in the tunnels right now. I think let's go for mid control at the start and see what they can do from it.
Satisfaction clears out. Oh, this could be well timed. Furs above as well. Double nade. Ouch. Good amount of damage. Az is going to be feeling the brunt of it. As if he's not already feeling remorse in this game as it is. And again, it's catwalk. That's the default. They're well aware of the fact that it's clearly been established. Think the round that they rotated back toward A when Cold was waiting for JKS. Fur even turned the second he walked out. They know that he lurks in the tunnels.
This is a really dirty spot from Fur here. He'll actually have vision above this smoke if he is able to drop off. It actually is a little bit shallower than I expected, so he'll just play it in that angle, though. That's still a strong position. They won't necessarily check that as JKS sneaks out now. 40 seconds, looking for rotating CT players. Fallen this time, flashed again, but it's a very effective one. He's actually alone at this stage, Cold Zero, down in the CT spawn area. Can't help him out just yet. Trying to find one kill, but he takes a bullet to the face. That's going to be a plan for Renegades.
And this time with all 5 up as well. Smoke will go down. That'll cover off a bit more vision from Pit. They know that the CTs are still out there, so that limits Fallen's resources. Open the killing as well. JKS, he's able to get Fur. He'll follow the position, but Taco, secondary opper on Dust 2. He's got the angle covered off from CT. And they're getting closer from long as well. Jacob, he heard the warning shot. Warning shot that only caught his attention, draws him near. He'll go for more. Knows there was 2. He's got that as well, and it's going to be backing away for the CTs. The only option, in fact, they're locked in because JKS does hold the mid doors still. Can they save the weapons? Cold, he's not exactly well financed at this point in time, but they should be just fine to get away with another buy. And Mibr, they'll keep the op in doing so. Nade's not going to go far enough, so it's Renegades with their fit. 4 players staying up and very much needed on their side.
Surprised the Renegades didn't pick up the AWP at the end of that round. Jacob just ran past him. Maybe he thought his teammates had already recovered it, but either way, it will be Renegades to win the round. We're heading to round 14 here, as the AWP is still in the hands of Taco, but Renegades trying to claw their way back into this first half. Will there be a timeout? Doesn't look like it. We've got Fallen, who will recover the secondary orb here. Money's running a little bit thin. They've got enough for somewhat of a buy. This goes wrong for them. Fallen wants to get towards lower B now. He made his name with the up-close and personal AWP style, but this is a difficult shot. If he survives this with a kill, I'll be very impressed.
Find out. It's got it. Smoke already down 2. He'll slip concealed back to the keep as he takes the AWP and falls off the angle so that they cannot trade it. They cannot respond. And Taco, we said it, second opper on Dust. This time, same play. Didn't work out, but a pre-smoke in place for him. He's able to fall off inside of it, and Fur, he'll spray in to find Gratisfaction. This will be only 3 rounds, but it's still a reset going against the Australian core.
Fancy footwork there from Taco. Misses the shot, but denies everything. The incendiary goes down. His teammate does damage. It's now a 5 versus 2 with a minute remaining. It's Liaz and JKS with little to no options here. They do have the bomb, but they're just waiting for mistakes here. There's no reason for the CTs to push in on their position. Just hold them in, and they'll run the clock down here and wait until about 10-second mark, and then they'll start locking them in and see if they can deny cash. But their money's pretty low on the CT side. They don't want to be too aggressive here. They'll wait for Renegades to make the next move.
35 seconds, walking back toward T-spawn. Is there a next move?
I'm not sure there is. Maybe just save the weapons.
Start thinking about the decibels and dollars, because right now that's the cause to all of their problems. And if they save these 2 AKs, they'll be able to at least purchase in the next. Remember, this was only 3 rounds built up, but it's still a reset.
JKS can drop a Galil. That's about as exciting as it gets for him. Liaz will get nothing on top of his $150. He's got a Molotov and a flash, so he might as well hold the AK. 5 seconds remain. Doesn't look Mibr are going to be challenging too much here, so Renegades will at least have 2 AKs here. Jacob can buy as well, so that's not too bad, but as you can see, there does seem to be a problem with Azza right now, 1 and 12. He's been so good on Dust 2 as well. He goes 9-5 as we head into the final round of the first half here. This is the Mibr pick, and you can see why. Great setups, very dynamic. Just changing the firepower around. They've had 3 in B, 3 towards middle, 2 on short, 3 long. Just every single round. Difficult to predict what they're up to. And the double orbs, especially with Taco on it as well. It seems like they're putting a lot more trust in him with this roster.
And that is the cool thing about Dust 2. Even on the CT side, you can change things up, but you're still covering off the same effect. And even if they want to take short, they can play it passive or aggressive on retakes. This time it's aggressive indeed toward long. Corner smoke down. It allowed Azza to get out. He finally gets another kill onto the board. And that brings him to a total of 2, but closer to the pit to hold. The problem is they've lost the mid doors this time. Jacob goes early. JKS already lost. That's the player that's been lurking, calling the rotations, giving them the information. And they'll have to try and go with all they have at this point in time, and all they have is long.
You can see Renegades feeling the pressure now. Jacob just walking out middle, no flashbang, no teammates with him. Instantly punished, and now it's a 4 versus 3, and Azza, now with the Orc, has been tagged, but they're trying to smoke the long crossover here, but Fallen, ready and waiting, takes down their AWP, and this looks impossible with Azza on such low HP as Liaz, who has to do all the heavy lifting here. Will they even get a plant?
Liaz already popping up, trying to spot to the backside of the site. Azza's rotated around, he wants the plants. They backed off the ramp. It looked like they were going to actually push through to try and counter off the plant, to try and deny the bomb going down, but they won't bother because it's round 15. Money's not a factor. It's not about collecting that. It's about winning the round, and they've done exactly that to find 10-5 CT side for MIBR. Remember, Renegades chose this map.
They absolutely did. Renegades struggling on their T side there. They were unable to win the pistol, but I thought that gun rounds would yield more fruit than that. Maybe feeling the pressure at the big stage, we're seeing some of the important names not arrive just yet. But it's not too late. They can bring this back in the second half. You'll have to come join us after this break.
Você é maior que seu medo. Coragem é Quasar. Quasar é o Boticário.
É, rapaziada, jogão, velho. Jogão, velho. Quer mandar um salve pra geral. Quem puder deixar um gostei, velho, um like aí, pra fortalecer, muito obrigado de coração mesmo, velho. Vamos nessa. Mano, os caras jogaram muito, velho.
For the Brazilians in their return to a national lineup at a major. They sit well and truly in clear vision of this map ahead of Renegades, and they chose it. Renegades chose to be on Dust 2. We go to Train next, and we know how good MIBR are. This core was part of that 17-0 run.
It wasn't even the core, it's this 5 that were actually amazing at it. They were looking fantastic on that particular map. I'm so excited to see what they can bring to the table there. It's been a long time since the Brazilians have looked that good on Train, but can they relive the glory days once again? We shall see. It's going to be now the lower B play. We saw some great innovations from Renegades in the first half pistol. What have they got up their sleeve here? Currently have 2 players towards short. It looks like a flash through middle now is on the cards, but Gratisfaction looking to challenge as he got players with him as well, looking to find that initial headshot, can't do it, gives away his position, but still challenging it. He knows he has to deliver.
Fur's already out mid and already at the window. JKS is certainly aware of it. Good find in the first. That actually discourages Phelps from going in. Hold on. He's going to go anyway, and he finds out why he hesitated in the first place. JKS is unmoved in the back of the site so far, just standing resiliently. He's already forced Taco to reconsider. He'll take the bomb back to mid, and the whole plan shuffles. So too does the defense. Jacobs rotated back around.
Nothing left in terms of utility for the MIBR boys. They'll head towards A. There's a lot of CT presence here, and headshots are plenty available as well. coldzera does answer back, and his Gratisfaction taken down. It goes down to the 2-on-1. The bomb has dropped down towards Spawn. The nightmare situation for coldzera has come through. He has got 35 seconds here. Upgrades to a USP. Has the range now to challenge these CTs in Spawn. One of the scariest players to be up against in a one-on-one duel. They'll need to use power and numbers here to shut him down as he waits for mistakes to be made. Can he find the first incision? Certainly not. What a fantastic round from JKS. They needed that pistol, Matt. He delivers. It looked like he was about to fall apart as well. The B split, very effective. They get the first trade in their favor, and they head towards that window. But as you mentioned, JKS is just a rock at their very back, so calm under pressure, and he hits 3 kills in total and denies that plant, which will be very important for MIBR. And it looks like they get a force buy in the second round. Deagles, armor, and a scout. This is a scary round to be up against. MIBR are so good in these sort of rounds, and there's the initial damage.
Yep, that's what Fallen's known for. An absolute pest to anyone trying to cross over to get toward B. Taco already up toward Catwalk, Deagle in hand. Fur behind, so too is Cold. On with the 3, the trio. Taco back with his old mates. He'll be the first to go. Already spotting one, hasn't done damage, but they are now 1 HP. He's barely alive. Smoke down, they'll plant on this. Safe side box, they'll control Catwalk. Phelps is still holding the backside of it, so they know that no one's been able to rotate back around from middle. As a JKS, Jacob all underneath, 2 toward long. They've got the range. You'd think the long would be great at this point in time. Smoke's already down. So that smoke at long will soon dissipate, and that will reveal a lot of problems on top of the site.
Look at all the damage that's been done. This is so stifling for the CTs now. How do they possibly win this round? It's down to Azza. He has got HP, but not anymore. It's Fur and Phelps who are just delivering the pain over and over again. CT surely can't do anything about this. Not even getting close to the bomb site. It's MIBR who steal away the second round in stunning form. Unbelievable scene there. The initial damage is over and over again. CTs just didn't have a say in that one, Matt. Nothing to be done.
They took down the 2 high HP players simultaneously with 1 shot.
Unbelievable. Well, there you have it. It's got to be a force buy in response here. Renegades saw they were on their feet winning the second half pistol, but that hope is quickly eradicated.
Yeah, if they were contenders, they're now throwing the fight. This is a bigger problem than ever before because they're back against the wall, 11-6, and they now have to force with a scout. Not as easily done on a CT side, because is it going to be relevant? You don't even necessarily get to pick your battles.
Exactly. If you're on the T side, you can go as a 5-man group up against FAMASes and scouts. If you're on the CD side, you're spread very thin. You're hoping one individual can do a lot of damage. That really does have to be Gratisfaction here. He needs to find tags, not necessarily kills, to soften them up for these pistols to stand a chance against the full commitment here from MIBR. But they've been so good in these rounds. It's been one of the real interesting talking points of MIBR in this tournament, their efficiency and these sort of anti-eco rounds. We'll see if it's going to ring true here. As the smoke goes down towards CT spawn, they'll be focusing towards the A bomb site still. Not for long.
Yeah, not at all. Not with the smoke about to go down again. They'll redress toward mid. Now that's the second smoke. That'll be called, but really what can you do about it? Gratisfaction has the scout back towards CT. He's going to spam through it, hopefully trying to catch someone running in. I suppose that's the option. That's all he's got. He does have JKS on the other side. If he had any more ammo inside of that Deagle, he may have had a third as well. Fur will take down Jacob. That opens up the site, even though it's now, oh, okay, a 3-on-2. Welcome back to the game, Azza. They still get the bomb planted. Phelps is so low, though. This Molotov from Azza, that could spoil everything. Phelps does hold the taco position, cuts his off the headshot. But he still has to be so careful. They know he's trapped into the corner because the flames have only now extinguished. He couldn't run back through them. Furry waits inside of Closet as well. And if Gratisfaction, if they win the duel, get through the door, he's going to have to be perfect with the AUG. Even a shoulder bait would pull him out of position. He's got the first. Gratisfaction now knows the likeliness of the round is getting more and more slim. He does not have the kits. He does not have any health. Phelps gets him instead.
Touch and go there. And with JKS, he did absolutely everything he could. You're right. If he had a few more bullets left, he might have been able to get the third. A closed round doesn't do much for Renegades there because they're full eco next and they're on the CT side. Unless they're winning that round, it's not really worth talking about the knock-on effect from those kills because they can't do anything about it. They can't force buy again. They have to just stick to the default weaponry of those USPs, which is just agonizing for them. We're getting to round number 19 here, looking like to be 13-6. No damage done at least as they cross over. But this is a round which is almost destined to be going in favor of the Brazilians here. No real stacks from the Renegades. That is going to have 2 towards B, a couple of players towards short, and Phelps has got that long control.
He's got that long control. He's got that Molotov toward Car. Everything's going his way. He can start to walk up. So to his team. Counter push from Renegades. Interesting decision to go out toward Catwalk. They've got to do something to get map control. 2 pistols as well, and Taco. He's going to be looking through the door. That smoke, it's not going to cover all the way to the top of Catwalk, so he gets timing in his favor. He did consider it. He looked over, but they were backing off. They're backing off because the cross at long is already happening. Smoke gap down. They tried to get cold on the cross. They tagged him, but they couldn't do anything further. They will now. JKS, but he gives himself up immediately after. Unfortunately, not much to report further. As MIBR find 13-3 to go, and bit of a poor showing from Renegades so far on Dust 2. If this was a gamble, it's not paid off.
Remember though, Renegades have been the kings of the comeback at this tournament. In the past, they were always very good at getting close to the finish line but not crossing it. But at this tournament, especially in that best of 3 against Astralis, managed to take a map of them after being down in a horrible state. Can they do it again though? They'll go for 5 orgs here. Money, not really strong enough to justify an AWP for Gratisfaction, but that's not the end of the world. This round has to be a win for them. They can't afford another loss here. Flashbang goes in from Taco, just trying to bait out grenades. Best way he can is going to be incendiaries. Molotovs exchange towards the B bomb site. JKS holding with his teammate right now. He's got some backup towards CT spawn as well in the form of Gratisfaction, and first pushing towards that area.
But they put the double smoke down. So even if Grat pushes through, he won't be able to see toward the top of the ramp, and this is going to cause a little bit of confusion for him. And Fur, in between aisles, optimistic and daringly, he finds Gratisfaction.
That's by design, by the way. Fur is using that smoke to actually use the gap in towards Money. He's got a smoke to his left-hand side to block him from window, and then he can look all the way towards that crossover there with a nicely designed smoke. That's really cool. Gratisfaction, you're right. Confused as to what was going on. Down he goes. An early 5-on-4 here. And can the CTs even hold on? They have 1 HE grenade. That is it.
Oh, that sound said it all. Leas couldn't do anything scoped in on the AUG. The AK wins it out, and even still, Phelps was already up from long. You're right, this is 14-6. They have to save the weapons. They have no other choice at this point.
Just spawn it towards long,
Wherever
just for good measure. You can plant whatever you like for.
Put it in the open.
You can plant on the
box. Hunting. They're hunting. No, Fallen's waiting. He doesn't want to plant. He wants to get them further out. They're searching T-spawn right now. Fallen has Taco to stay with him to make sure he doesn't get caught off, and he's just going to wait. He wants his team to clear the map. He wants all 3 of these guns down. They want to absolutely punish Renegades.
You're absolutely right there. They want to get everyone in position and make sure they at least get a couple of these kills, and why not? They've got plenty of money here. They want to leave Renegades with nothing for the follow-up round as Phelps starts to dissect the B tunnels here. All 3 players on the CT side reside in the B bomb site. Remember, they just got 1 HE. They can't smoke off anything here. They have no AWP to defend. And Phelps coming in with his AK could be very problematic. It's Azza, who we haven't talked about much here. 3 kills and 17 deaths. He could probably get a couple more. He'll have to challenge eventually, but down he goes.
And this is it. They cleared the whole map. He was already spraying the box because they checked T-spawn, they checked lower tunnels, they checked CT, checked Catwalk. Wow. It's pretty obvious. That was brilliant, I have to say, from MIBR.
It's
the subtle details.
Yeah, you don't see many teams looking that efficient. Normally, just get the bomb down straight away. Let's just run this timer down. Let's make sure we win the round, but that's incredibly smart. I love this setup from Fer. The fact he had the one-way smoke towards the crossover, the protection of the B side as well. It's allowed him to focus on that kill towards middle, waiting for a CD to step out of line, and they leave them with absolutely nothing. It's round 21. Their loss bonus isn't even fully established yet.
Dá pra entender, rapaziada. Os cara vai guardar, mano. Em 3 na B ainda perde ainda, mano. No segundo bagulho, mano. Caraca, que jogão, mano. O BR tá destruindo os caras, mano. Destruindo os caras, mano.
14-6. Here we go again, Fallen. Oh, up close, Azure! He got him, running by! Caught me so off I hard pronounced the R. I'm sorry, Australia, but Azure, that was spectacular on the scouts. He goes back up on top of the A side as well.
Well, a good start. They're going to need a lot more where that came from. Azure falls back towards the A side. Absolutely clotheslines Fallen and T-Spawn. Still, they only have the scout and a Nova shotgun. They didn't fully invest here just to know that. They actually went for a bit of a partial buy. I thought they'd spend everything, but a very disciplined approach. They somehow win this round, and they've got this leftover money. They might be back in this. It could be enough. Could, being the operative word there.
Flash off, Azza still watching out toward long. He needs a second one. This time it's not going to go his way. Taco, he pulls it back for Fallen, gets in position again, doesn't want to overextend because he knows the Deagle's there, and he had 2 heads to fire at. He finds one. Palm down temporarily, I say, because it's easily grabbable in between the smokes, but it buys a bit of time and a bit of space. Cold will find Gratisfaction. Casper Phelps slow to respond, however. Luckily, Cold is doing great work from Catwalk and pulls it back in their favor. 33 seconds to go. They've got lots of time to get the bomb on the site. It's just Jacob left.
This is going to be so frustrating for Renegades to keep getting so close to actually looking like they can steal the round away. But now they're 2 versus 1. They know exactly where Jacob is. He has little to no chance of winning this. He'll have to go long and hope no one's watching this anger. But Taco is there. Nice shoulder bait to actually get out of the long doors. But still, they can just fall back and challenge this together. There should be no world where Jacob can win this now. He knows it.
Absolutely done. I mean, what can you do at that point? It's got to save something, sure. Force buy needed. It is map points for MIBR. No lead is safe on this stage, however. Liquid showed us yesterday. Or should I say, Ents showed us.
They did. I think that's more appropriate. Jacob will save the AK-47. He's got enough to drop an orb. That was a great shot from Azab. The scout looked like could be enough, but this man here, he was the one to sabotage all their efforts towards the A side. Great work, and that's a lot of pressure released now on the MIBR side. They've got tons of cash. They've got 9 map points to work with here. Double orb set up for Renegades. We'll see whether this will be enough to keep them in the game. It's Gratisfaction and JKS. Haven't seen JKS much on the orb, to be honest, this tournament. They've kind of removed him from that role as he takes a lot of damage at the start, down to 25.
Smoke covers the door. Tries to get back into it, but Fer will work up the catwalk. Gratisfaction and Az are playing in conjunction off of each other. JKS tagged, sure, but double op, he's got one of them. It won't matter that much for him. Gratisfaction, we saw Fallen in the same position. It's the drop spot above CT. Same effect, it was a flash. Fallen was taken down. Gratisfaction swallowed his pride and backs off. Still waits as well inside of middle, but MIBR are taking it safe and slow. JKS inside of B. Smokes off the tunnel with 47 seconds. That buys about 10 of them, but they might just go through it. Has a good flash back in. Fer's able to get caught by that. Gratisfaction was the one who threw it. They might have to just go through this. Smoke down. JKS waiting. Some rules are made with all intentions to break because they've got to go through it. They don't have time. 28 seconds, they'll trade it back. Jacob, he's still on top of the window with the AK. He's got to wait for the rotation, or does he? He went back in, and it cost them because Azza was forced to try and play off of it. It might be the round in itself. It might be the game on that because Grat can't find them on the cross with the AWP, and Liaz is only getting in position now with the AUG. Quick shot to tunnels, preemptively. They got the window covered off. Liaz can't find his way through it, and Gratisfaction, he was right to assume, but didn't spot it, does now. Time is ticking. One kit, Gratisfaction has it. He's still gonna hold on to the AWP. Op stats perhaps representative of why he's been tremendous with it. No one else has. They haven't had to double up enough. Taco's got it back. Cole holds it off. 16-6. MIBR up one map.
This is a team that looks dangerous. MIBR on Dust 2, the pick of Renegades, running away with it. Everyone turns up. We see Fur at the top of the charts at 21 frags and only 7 deaths there. Renegades just couldn't get going. Any success they had instantly shut down. So many resets there, and they had one player that really didn't turn up at all. If Renegades going to make a dent, they need all 5 turning up, looking sharp. And Dust 2 has been a map that's so good for them here. But maybe MIBR have done their research and they've gotten on Dust 3, how they can shut down their opposition.
Certainly so. Train is next. I fear for what happens next on to Renegades because that is a map where MIBR historically, have been so good, so dominant, as they were here, to be fair. So we'll see what happens. We'll take a break. Renegades need to reset. We'll be back in just a sec.
Falar que os caras não jogaram, cê é louco. Próximo mapa, quero ver o próximo mapa, rapaziada. O próximo mapa vai ser sinistro, bagulho. MD3, mano. Acabou ainda não. Bagulho massa. Tamo junto, rapaziada. Quem puder deixar um like em gostei, velho. Valeu, rapaziada. Mano, o próximo mapa vai ser muito louco. Vai ser doido demais, rapaziada. Enquanto isso eu vou ver um vídeo aqui. Não vou ver vídeo não. Vamos conversar. Tamo junto, Tyson. Os caras jogam muito, mano.
Think he can't clutch through a smoke while recording in full resolution.
Ah, velho, sei lá, velho. Se for Train, já era, mano. IBR passa. Vamos ver, se for Mirage.
Think you can't get famous in a flash? Like become your own meme famous? Watch this. Think he's been there, done that? With Intel Core i7, he's just getting started. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
Beleza, rapaziada? Você gostou, né? X-Vídeo, XXMXX. E aí, game, manda salve pro Biohide do vídeo do meu vídeo. Tamo junto.
Prepare for combat. Go forth.
Jogão.
And conquer.
Acho que é só 3 minutinhos, velho, pra começar o próximo round. Se for Mirage, vai ser massa. Agora, se for Train, eu falo que é GG pra MBR, mano. É 15-3, 15-4, você vai ver, 16. Nossa, mano, dá pra fazer round à vontade. A Renegades não é muito bom, assim, eu tava vindo destruindo a Renegades, mas... Grupo de Discord eu tenho, cara, mas eu nem fico muito no Discord. Eu não tô jogando muito em Station, né? Jogão, rapaziada. Bagulho é doido.
From MIBR, more commonly known as miners in Brazil. I run a team of the world's best salt miners. We mine salt from Counter-Strike for all the major events.
The mornings are always stressful, but there is no better feeling than getting stuff done together. The boss is always angry though. I'm not sure if he likes me.
Yo, what the fuck are you doing, guys? We have work to do. Let's go. You think this is a vacation? Yo, do you think this is a vacation, dude? Huh? Let's go to work. Let's go to work. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Taco stresses me out sometimes, and he's changed his mind a lot, and I don't know if he want to be in the scene or not. So guys, right there we have some Australian salt, and here we have some liquid salt, and this one we usually mine second, and we're kind of busy here. Cole, stop mining, Cole. Go get some Australian salt.
Come to think of it, I don't think he likes anyone. He's such a toxic boss.
I want to focus on the work.
I haven't been the boss that long. Fallen, he used to be our boss until the accident.
The reason we call him Fallen is that one afternoon he fell down in this 20-foot hole.
I'll tell you guys a story. I have been working on this mine for 27 years. Job of my life. One day there was an accident. I think some of my friends mentioned that.
It was terrible. He broke his back, and since then he can't carry us anymore.
After that I was never able to carry my team anymore. So at afternoons I'm here mining, trying to find Australian salt, trying to find some phasey gold. But after the accident, I just can't find shit anymore.
All right, guys, listen to me. We got enough salt. Let's find the trophy now.
And I'm sure the Australians are no stranger to the salt after that. A map they chose to play in the biggest game of their year. The quarterfinals of the major. They face MIBR and they chose to take it to Dust 2 with a measly 6 rounds. It really did fall apart for the team that has been turning heads and impressing across the entirety of both the Challenger and the Legend stage. A different kettle of fish though, and a different MIBR as well here as we get to the champion stage and onto that gorgeous stage, of course, in the Spodek stage. I'll keep saying it different ways. It's multiple different meanings, of course. I'm joined by Pimp, I'm joined by Sean Gares, I'm your host, Machine, and this is an intriguing one, guys. First question. Jacob, you prefaced this whole pre-match by saying, I think MIBR have won in the veto. How much of that were you seeing in the server today?
I think we got to see a lot of it. I'm not necessarily sure whatever Renegades made a mistake. I totally believe in their own beliefs that Dust 2 is a great map for them and they want to play that map. The problem for them is they went into the unknown. They went into a territory where MIBR is known to be good on Dust 2. We haven't seen them play, so they couldn't prep at all, which is one of the things that Renegades really have had going for them. The preparation they went into the games with. They couldn't do this against MIBR because they didn't know anything about that Dust 2. So in that regard, I think they played themselves a little bit here. And on the other side of the coin, MIBR just played one hell of a game, and you can't take that away from them. Renegades was by no means a bad team here, but I think MIBR was just much better.
Yeah, Sean, I just want to... Yes. This isn't, this isn't hyperbole. This is a different MIBR squad, right? Like, they're playing unlike what we've seen so far in Katowice.
Yeah, this MIBR team is way different than the one that fell 16-3 versus Cloud9. You can see they have so much synergy, so many flashes for their teammates. You just saw Fallen throw one right there for someone playing Goose. That grenade. There's just so much communicate. You can tell there's a lot of communication when you watch them now, and that's something that lacked in those first matches, in my opinion.
And something that lacked
North America.
Exactly, when they had Styria and when they had Tarek on the lineup, that was the exact MIBR we didn't get to see. They didn't have that synergy. They didn't have that communication going for them. Now they're back speaking their own language, Portuguese, I believe it is, and you can instantly see how much of a difference that makes when MIBR is pressured up against the wall.
And Taco had the same thing. Let's not forget, not only did MIBR have their struggles with the North Americans in their roster, it was also, he was in Liquid, he was forced to speak a second language, how that affected his gameplay. It must be a very great feeling to not only have that, but Zeus is back. It is a romantic story in a way.
Absolutely, and I think this MIBR team can get much better. In my opinion, Fallen hasn't been playing good CS so far this major, which is so surprising because they've been playing so well after that initial Cloud9 hiccup. I don't know. They're proving they could be major favorites right now.
Oh my goodness, Sean, bite your tongue.
Yeah.
But do go walk over to that telestrator because you have got a round up on the screen.
I do. This is the 14th round MIBR played on their CT side, and there's a lot that goes on here, Alex. So let me try to get this all.
Take your time.
Okay, so we're going to have Fallen push mid with a smoke there. The man you want to watch the most though on here is Fur, who's actually, he's supporting right now Taco to get set up B, and then he's going to rotate back into middle, actually, and help coldzera with a flashbang here. So you're going to see coldzera swing with Fur's flashbang, and that's the first kill of the round. Then Fallen immediately gets that pick lower, and you can see right now, Fur on the top of your radar, he's rotating back to B to help out Taco. So Taco's going to take this shot, which, by the way, he has an opportunity to get the third kill of the round here, and he falls back. Fur's there to support him. There's just so much movement across the map that I don't see how Renegades could have stopped around like this.
And now, is it safe to assume, Jacob, that that's something that's been pre-planned, like, let's do the aggro round? I mean, that's not just something that's happened over the course of reacting to the team.
No, that's something that's been worked on, that's something that's been practiced, but the fact of the matter is that you pointed out as well, Fur and the way he rotates around, this is synergy within the team, this is communication, this is timing. As soon as coldzera gets that kill, he calls middle clear, Fur falls back to B, he helps Taco, and that comes from that communication. Have we seen an MIBR lineup with Stereo 2K and Tarek on it right now, you wouldn't have seen that synergy transpire into the game. So you can say as much as you want about communication, but it is very important.
I'm going to be honest, I've never seen Fur be a support player like that. That was incredible. When I saw that round, I was like, okay, this MIBR team's complete.
It's different. This isn't the same. Sure, it's the same 5 players. This is not the same 5 players playing the same kind of CS.
Exactly.
But now, we're all having fun. You guys at home are having fun, enjoying this Counter-Strike. I'm sure, especially if you're an MIBR fan, but one team, one group of 6 that are likely having a very tough talk right now are Renegades, and Frankie managed to grab Coach Kassad for a quick chat between map 1 and 2.
Kassad, what happened to the boys on Dust 2?
Oh, I feel like there were some misfortunate situations in some rounds. We had a good game plan going on. We started very well. The pistol was kind of going our way, but some miscommunication in that round kind of cost us. And we had them on the ropes with the money, but we kind of didn't play few rounds properly. Like, we didn't practice multiple times so far, so that kind of cost us. They're experienced team. They punished us for that. So at the end, the round that kind of was most painful was the miscommunication, the round number 17 after the CT pistol. This is where we kind of screwed up a little bit with our communication, and it cost us. They got the money rolling, and they just finished the game.
Well, listen, we're on Train next. We haven't seen you play this, I think, since the Challenger stage when you beat Evanger on it. So what's the plan going into this one?
Train is the map that we kind of feel really good about, and we were kind of expecting them to pick it, either that or Inferno. So we knew if they picked that, we're going to have the starting CT side, so it's kind of good for us. We need to just reset mentally and just go into the second map and try to win it. We needed to win it anyway, so win or lose the first map, you need to win the second, so we're just going like that.
And how are the boys coping with this massive stage? This is the biggest thing they've ever done.
Yeah, it's all kind of new for us. I mean, we played in Sydney and we played in Odense, but it's nothing like this. I mean, it's like one of the biggest stages in esports. It's surely like a new experience, but I don't think it's affecting us at all. We're just playing the game. That's it.
Well, whatever you do, Kassad out there, I hope you and the boys enjoy it. So go join them on stage and let's head back to the desk.
Thank you so much, Frankie. Yes, that was Kassad, and he's going to be jumping into the next map, Train. We just saw Dust 2 fall flat for the Renegades, and now backs against the wall on a map that MIBR forged somewhat of a dynasty on, an unbeaten streak unlike many. We are going to go ahead and jump into Train next.
Train seems simple at a glance. 5 players are tasked with defending 5 narrow choke points spread out across the map. T-Connector, Pop Dog, Ivy, upper and lower ramp are essential for keeping control. However, the impending attack of terrorists spewing out of a few key positions on the outer yard makes things a little bit more complicated. 4 players are needed to mitigate the early aggression and garner more forward formations for defense. Pressure is placed on the sole defender of the inner bomb site, who can hold from afar and be in the dark to what is approaching, or get up close and act as the early warning system for any inside executes. Everything but the kitchen sink gets thrown at the inner site, and if utility is used correctly, the rotation to retake can be completely locked out. Knowing when to rotate becomes the difference between being forced to save or giving yourself a fighting chance to still reclaim the round.
Now, Train is a map we already have seen MIBR play, and one of the things they do so well is the matter of the fact that they don't allow any terrorist attacks fast outside. Now, they have Phelps, Fallen, and Fur coming out of CT main, all 3 together, and they make sure that they throw nades towards this area, which is T main. They throw a flash, they throw a Molotov, and they also throw a nade, which allows nobody to rush outside, and that is one of the things they do so well. So if you're Renegades and you're looking at this demo and you're looking at MIBR, you want to try to exploit Taco on the inside, or you want to try to exploit coldzera, who's left alone to themselves because they have so much focus towards this area because they do not want any of the terrorists coming out fast.
And that's something that we are going to be keeping our eyes open for. Thank you so much, Jacob. And yes, this does feel like a tough task. Kassar did make an interesting point, though. I mean, he talked about it, Sean. They were hoping that this would be picked so they can start on that CT side. That is an advantage.
They're definitely very strong on this map, don't get me wrong. A weakness that we could look out for here is JKS at the inner bomb site. He's a phenomenal player, but he's also a passive player. And if I'm Fallen in MIBR right now, I'm taking advantage of that. I'm always taking Brown Hall for free, time and time again, forcing the rotate, then going outside where there's only 3 players.
Exploit JKS.
Exactly.
And Jacob, your final thoughts?
I mean, you talked about it before. We haven't seen Fallen play up to the very best right now in this major, but Train is one of the maps that he always plays well on. So I want to see Fallen being the catalyst for MIBR, and I think that will happen now.
Let's find out how it plays out. It's time, map 2 of our 3rd quarterfinal. It's our 2nd day in the gorgeous Spodek Stadium. We're going to be jumping in the map Train, MIBR. They are strong, and Renegades will have to be stronger if they want to take us to 3. Mirage lies in the wings. Will we see it? Well, that's up to the Aussies. Let's jump in. Henry, Sadakist, let's see what those Brazilians can do.
It's either a runaway train or the little engine that could, because MIBR has absolutely all the momentum on their side, and Renegades, they'll be thinking that they could. They're going to need to. As we get onto Train, they have to answer back or they are gone.
They absolutely do. Their map picker Dust 2 fell very flat indeed. 16-7, MIBR look like they're back on top at this stage. They will kick off things on the T side of Train here, and JKS has been the absolute star player for Renegades. He's looking to challenge the Brown Horse here. He's going to have a few players in front of him, does significant damage to 2, but no opening frag, and they'll have control now as he has to fall back. Kits available, just the 1 on the CT side, and a smoke on this player here, Gratisfaction, as it looks like MIBR might be getting ready to fall back towards outside. Now, they have no smokes. They're really relying on the firepower here, and there's not much of it, just Glocks and armor. They'll have to go together and try and trade out frags as they slow things right down now. How do they even crack open the A side? What is the plan here?
Well, Taco goes back around. Plan so far, seemingly, is a split with Ivy in the mix. In the blueprints.
Yeah, very slow approach here. Phelps has a decoy. That's about as exciting as it gets in that department. You've got Liaz holding towards the Ivy. He has the advantage in terms of challenging players with the USP, but now he falls back.
Already down through. Liaz has to back off even further. Does get one. USP, that starts it, but turns it around. Back and forth again. To Mailu, 1 for 2, and finally as it gets around in their favor as he gets both of the USP. And Colds, he's gonna fall to the same man, and that man, he was slow on Dust too. Great start, exactly what Asa needs to get Renegades back into this series.
Very rare you'll see a T-side enter a pistol with no utility whatsoever, focusing on the pincer towards the outside bomb side. They managed to trade out frags initially, but it's the range of the USPs that says a resounding victory. Asa showing us that he's not down just yet. He gets 3 kills in that round, and it will be Renegades going up 1-0 here. MIBR, though, have been so deadly on these second round 4 spies. It's the Deagles, the PD-50s, this time with smokes and flashbangs here. And do they go for an outside execution? We will see. It's Fur who delivers an HE towards the bomb side there. Doesn't connect with any damage. But indeed, it looks like Zach will be setting up for a smoke or flashbang here, as they'll set 2 players up towards Ivy as well. Gratisfaction on the scouts. Only a couple of rifles available. That's the FAMAS of Jacob and Az's Org, as Liaz plays very defensively towards Ivy. He seems to shoulder peeking towards the end of it. As soon as he detects any threat on the other side, he'll throw that HE.
Smoke still in hand, and you're absolutely right. By the time, meanwhile, Cold, he'll try and open up the inner sight. Deagle, distance, knows the off angle well, tries to go back out, tries a 3rd time, 4th, why not? It's not going to happen. Jacob smartly gets off of it. Don't tempt the fate.
His trained Eagle is absolutely unbelievable, by the way. I've gotten some unspeakable things from coldzera on this particular map, but at least for now, no damage done. Throws a decoy towards inner, and it's the outside play. The smokes are down, the flashbang's coming through. This will be the final play from MIBR as the flashbang looks to be set up. This actually looks like to be a bit of a double fake here, because they're going to be dropping the initial utility with some decoys and flashbangs outside to bait out whatever the CT's had. And now this will be the final play. The smoke's still in hand. 30 seconds remain, and this is it now. Smoke's all over the bomb side there. They trickle down, and it's up to Gratisfaction to do the initial damage. He misses that first shot, and here come the Brazilians straight towards the bomb site.
I'm going to come back to those smokes. There's a miscommunication. It's right there. Yeah. Azza, he's found it. There was 2 smokes that landed Z connector. They were lined up differently, but somehow they're not on the same page. They haven't identified that one person is not throwing the essential smoke toward the E-box. Sure, they don't have guns, but if they want to get a bomb down, they need to limit the vision, and Azza was able to pick that out easily.
Yeah, 2 smokes landed in the same position there. Something goes horribly wrong for MIBR. That's a massive gap to leave, and the rifles will just absolutely chew through them there. It's MIBR now have to play the full eco and buy up into the next round. This is almost guaranteed to be 3-0 now. Renegades find a bit of fortune there. Round 3, and MIBR will just have a Deagle and a couple of P250s. That's it. No armor, no nades, and the most common approach here is head towards the inside bomb site, wait for the initial push, and then go in together, see if you can get 1 kill and plant the bomb. That's a little bit distressing for the MIBR squad. Shouldn't be looking that ropey, but either way, as Jacob gets in position, he should be good for a couple of kills here, no problem.
I don't know if he gets caught out. Jacob is ready to go. He slings back around the corner. That's quite the nade.
That's enough.
Yep, that'll hurt. This one will too. Were they far enough? Not quite. It won't take Taco down, but it certainly makes matters worse. That's enough. Is it? Fallen still wants to go back over. Jacob, though, at range now. And he has that with the FAMAS. We'll take down Fur. Just to note, no kills since the pistol, so if Renegades can keep all 5 alive again, that money starts to build up and they're in a... okay. I spoke too soon. I seem to always do that, don't I? Don't all of us casters seem to do that? The point is, I was going to say that they can start to build up, and they're in a bit of a situation where the bonus is available to them.
Phelps with the P250 here. They didn't have many options. They've got that 1 kill towards inside, but still 2 CT players ready and waiting to deny the plant. That's their objective here. It's pretty much guaranteed they win this round, as Taco will have to go back up the ladder. Az is ready to drop another incendiary there. That's going to push them towards inside. They have to commit off this now. And it looks like JKS will get all 3, to be honest. Such a prime position. He's got his teammate Gratisfaction with the scout just to soften them up as they come down. But I feel like JKS gets all 3 here, no problem.
JKS should indeed. Gratisfaction steals one away, but that's fine. Same result in the end, and they'll be pleased with that. It's, again, a situation, as previously mentioned, where in which a bonus is available. They've got 2 SMGs. Gratisfaction likely gets off the scout. But they've already got the 2 AUGs brought up as well, and going against the AKs, so long as they can cover off the angles correctly, they should be fine. And it is, I will confirm, the AWP for Gratisfaction.
Yeah, good call by him. He knows there's a massive advantage here. They've got a 3-0 lead. Sure, it's going to cost you a lot of money to throw that scout away, but that's absolutely fine. They are going to keep the UMP and MP9, however, but that's also very viable on a map like Train. Get towards that pop dog position, play in front of the smokes. You can make this work off the back of the AWP. No warp for MIBR, though. They've had a rough start here on Train. 3-0 down, 5 AKs for now, but need to start posting some rounds. What a common setup this one. We're seeing this more and more. 2 players in towards a pop dog allows you to look towards the main entrance and indeed the ladder itself. Feel a bit too much pressure, you can fall back as Liaz will have 2 players heading towards Ivy. Firing off shots and doing quite significant damage towards Phelps there. A little bit towards Fallen as well. That's going to slow them down somewhat. They have no smokes remaining now on the T side.
It's backs away. Nade already in through Ivy. Faction has his attention turned the same direction, so crossfire potential. Grat looks away. MP9 seemingly struggling so far in this series. Manages to get away, though. That's a smart play. Brings the op up close. Don't know if that's what you would have intended, because now the op goes down. That's the one gun you would like to carry over. Despite the bonus situation, they've invested a little bit more into it with that. They'll buy him one from someone else if they don't pull it back, but Leas does get Fur. MP9, I mentioned it. It just couldn't do enough when they walked in from Ivy cold. Ooh, he's encroaching.
Yeah, he's in a great spot here, Matt. He's the only player of 100 HP. And a godlike aim as well, it seems. Fantastic work from him. They stayed very patient there. They had no smokes. They're waiting for CTs to give them opportunities there. Cold Zero of 100 HP. He knew he had to close that one out, and he absolutely does. 3 players survive as the money starts to drain from the Renegades bank account. But here's Fallen patching out the AWP towards the end of Ivy. And then they managed to work as a fragging unit there, making sure every trade was going in their favor. Lovely work from Cold. And we get into round number 5 here. 2 Deagles on the CT side. Liaz and Jacob will just go down to pistols here. The Gratisfaction, he can win the round single-handedly with an AWP. It's that sort of map. The AWPs are so powerful on the CT side of Train. He'll have to step up, though. No AWP on the T side. Maybe I did not recover from the previous round. As they do have control of Pop Dog room now, it's Jacob who has to watch main entrance.
He does, and he will. He's got a Deagle already out. He follows it up. Style, that's one way for it, but effective as well, more importantly, because they have the man advantage. As Fur, he tries to crawl around, to climb the ladder, and find anyone who dare be willing to give themselves up. Throw the AK back in a little further, keep it out of harm's way, out of enemy hands, more importantly.
Now, the brilliant thing about that is, they only know there's a Deagle up there. They don't know Gratisfaction's brought up the AWP, so they might be a little bit more cavalier with their approach on the T side, trying to make these challenges happen, knowing that only pistols are there. But there is a rifle for JKS, and indeed Azza, and Gratisfaction yet to fire a bullet with the AWP. So this is looking very good for Renegades right now, as they hold the advantage in the 4-on-3.
Fur's getting closer and closer, though. Gratisfaction, there it is, you're exactly right. He had no idea. He thought he was safe to work up, and immediately the AWP popped out. Easy lane to fire into. And it is going back the way of Renegades so far, but Taco does at least get Azza. Down to 3 remaining. Molotov certainly pushes, 2 HP. Leia's just barely alive. 2 HP's enough, though. He gets Taco. It's a problem now because Fallen's on 31. He knows the op's way down toward Ivy, and it doesn't need to peek at this point. Let him commit to the site. Nade, he's on 11. That's going to hurt even more, and Gratisfaction knows that he's there. He's got the lineup. Does he? Not quite. But he will now. Fallen still making this work.
8 seconds, though.
Desperate desires and unadmirable plans. He's got to try and find it inside of the site, and you're right. It was too desperate at that point with 8 seconds left as Renegades find their 4th, and importantly, reset MIBR.
It is a massive reset on the T side. They win 1 round, and Renegades somehow make this work. They came in with 2 Deagles and a couple of rifles, and it's Jacob who absolutely stuns them towards the main entrance, and Pop Dog there. Great footwork around the E-box there. Somehow didn't take much damage at all as well. And it is going to be the force buy in response here. MIBR are known to be a stubborn team. They like to make these force buys work. They're bringing a couple of MAC-10s, a Deagle, and Taco, who's got the only rifle available. But luckily for him, it is the AK-47. As they head towards inside, it is straight up rushing this. I think they might be. It's JKS. He might be a little bit late on the incendiary, but not with the bullets. He gets the first. Can he find a second? They have snuck their way towards the bomb site here as things start to calm down. But here come those MAC-10s. Bomb's down.
He absolutely goes down, and you're right, the bomb is
no.
Azza. That's not who you were looking for. That makes matters worse. It's welcomed surely on the MIBR side, but bomb, again, it's still so far forward. It was a huge mistake to take it up that far. Oh no, this could be huge. Phelps wants to swing in behind. Unfortunately, I think time reveals, yeah, exactly, that he was probably missing. It's for a reason. Look back towards the connector. Had to be the call, and while I'm that far forward, it would make perfect sense. So the round is done at this point in time. 5-1, though. Great start for Renegades, already achieving way more success than on Dust 2, and doing it on the map that was picked by MIBR.
Yeah, MIBR keep force buying now. They're not getting any plants. In terms of loss bonus, it's not really there for them. They're going to have second stage after this, so another eco is on the cards. They were hoping to at least get a plant out of this, but a bit of chaos towards that lower ramp and landing in the incendiary. They couldn't get the plant down. I'm not sure if Fur realized he had the bomb, but Jacob managed to find it just there. This is the team kill. Luckily for the Renegades, it doesn't come back to haunt them too much. Sure, it's not ideal, but it's still 5-1 in their favor. They know they've broken the money down because that was a force buy. If you detect helmets on the T side, even if they have pistols, just that spark come out of their helmet when he shoots it, you know they spent $1,000 there. You can track their money. You know they've been reset. They can only have a maximum of about $2,000. So if they've got Deagles and armor, they're going to be full eco now, which is exactly what's happening with the PD-50s and Glocks. No armor, no nades. A really rough start here for MIBR. But they are on the T side here, Matt. It is considered a CT-sided affair, but you would expect MIBR to at least post it a few rounds by now. But still very early days as they look to try and get a plan down here. Looking a little bit out of their depth right now. Renegades consider this to be a strong map for them. Cassav put down a break between the first map and this one. And so far, so good. This will allow them to have a lot of money going forward. They're probably going to keep all 5 players alive, maybe lose a couple at the very most.
Taco just checking again down below at the bottom of the ladder. Fantastic start for Renegades, but the money, as you say, is still within reason. So we'll see if they can at least make this costly. More importantly, get the bomb in position. All right, smoke, deep, Fallen. It's not really going to do much. First off, there's a gap. Second off, Fur and Phelps are already in a great position. You might as well use the utility where you can. AWP. expecting them to jump across. He's got to be careful not to get caught with a flash out. Azza, he'll call the fact that they were there. Gratisfaction gets back in position as a result, and position enough, it seems, as the AWP will do just enough to keep them occupied, allow Azza to slip out in the end in 6-1.
All 5 players survive. Gratisfaction starting to get warmed up now. We didn't see enough from him on Dust 2, but he's certainly causing some damage here in the first half, and no AWP again for MIBR. Their finances have been an absolute nightmare here. 4 AKs and Fallen has to go for the Galil. I'd assume we'll see more of a set-piece mentality now, considering the AWP is shutting them down. Renegades, though, seem to be aggressive. They're playing in front of smokes. I'll be interested to see what MIBR will bring to the table now. It's round number 8, 6-1, in favor of Renegades on their CT side. A default, by the looks of things. Nothing too spectacular, at least from the get-go here in round number 8. See Azza really feeling it now, recovering from his quiet performance in Dust 2, and Jacob in towards that main entrance, getting tons of information, denying access for the T's. They focus towards Ivy here, but Gratisfaction, even though he's flashed, nails the incendiary and will slow them down.
Decent effort, a very aggressive effort on the outside side from Renegade so far. All facets covered off with utility. JKS. Solo B at this point. Azza might try and go for the flank. He's yet to do it. 3-2 split, by the way. Fallen slowly leading back, but Phelps, he could push through and try and lurk. Is still considering it, but Jacob already rotating over certainly strengthens the fact that B is, by the way, where the bomb is going, but more covered for the CT side. Flash from Cole, potentially. He's just waiting to make sure the ramp's covered off as well, make sure no one's going to sneak up. He can flash his teammates around. Fallen. I think that's what they're waiting for.
They have no smokes again here, Matt. 35 seconds remaining. I think they're going to go out the upper ramp, flash over, and just hope the orb's not there.
The problem going up a ramp right now is you're going to be so desperate to get away from Jacob. You fall right in front of JKS, and Jacob, even without vision, he's got one. This is it. JKS has bomb. They never would have expected him to be on the same side, stacked up left, and it works out perfectly. Bomb down, Fallen, trying to get forward. He'll be spotted, does manage to pull one back.
His teammate's so far removed, though. He's all the way in T-Spawn. If Fallen dies here, round's done. Phelps not even worth going for this, to be honest. Defuse coming in. He won't even arrive in time.
Yeah,
What's
he's
going
to run it. There's no way. Gratisfaction's already got the op. Just keep the AK. You're right, absolutely, at that point. Defuse done 7-1.
This is very odd from IBI. Yes, their money's been a nightmare, but they're not leaving themselves any resources at all when they finally commit. 0 smokes and a couple of flashes. They're going towards inside, and the setup from Renegades are fantastic. Really reading them quite well here. And JKS not missing many shots at all. You can see most of the focus on a double orb setup on the CT side of Train. Renegades has certainly ran that before. In 2018, they're doing it a lot with JKS holding inside with the AWP. But he's finding so much success with the rifle. Allows him to retake the outside bomb site with clutch potential, which is his bread and butter. Why would you want him on the orb? Keep him on that rifle. Keep him fragging. And Cold Zera looking to join him there as he jumps out the main entrance. And again, it's a very sloppy approach now. They run through the flames and they'll lose the bomb quickly. It's Jacob and Azza, no problem at all. Find the first 2 kills.
Cold only gets 1, falling off the train. He's caught in the air, and Jacob, he follows it. He'll follow it further, and JKS and actually beats him to the punch. 8-1. This is remarkable. We just finished bigging up MIBR's Train. It turns out the little engine that could is going up this hill fast. 8-1 CT side. And again, you mentioned it, the money is the factor. Bombs aren't going down enough.
We haven't had an AWP for Fallen once yet. We're going into round number 10.
That's ridiculous on this map.
Yeah, on Train, and they keep force buying. They're making mistakes on their force buys with those smokes we saw. They need to take the timeout. This is their first one. I'm surprised they didn't take one after that nightmare round in number 2. I felt like that should have come in before. Now the force buys keep happening. They're not really looking that efficient. And Jacob, you can see there's no flashes position. There's no smokes down. He's just helping himself to frag after frag, and he's playing very well indeed.
Spectacular, absolutely. Kassad with the lovely shoulder bumps.
Oh, he loves that. He's a very passionate man. Loves it when his team plays well. And he makes sure they receive the love at the same time. It's round 10 and no force buy at this juncture. We are currently at maximum loss bonus, but it's not enough to persuade them to buy here. They'll go for the partial with the Deagle's armor and a scout. Is this the round they can start to look a little bit more dangerous? We'll see Fallen with their first shot. That's why you want him on the AWP. He's so good with the snipers. He finds the first of the scout. That's Liaz removed.
He's the only gun, though, and that gun is that they would have put down and potentially picked up is at the other end of Ivy, so they won't be able to get toward that for holding the close angle once potentially Fallen to bait one in toward him. Gratisfaction goes back out to where the first kill came in, and he has the op staring in that direction. They're going to try and run boost. Low HP for Fallen. Doesn't matter. He's found immediately. The op positioned exactly where it needed to be. And they double peek though, Cold. Great shot on the Deagle. You mentioned it on Train. He's known for it. Jacob does collect further, walking in from main, knows he's alone, and he can immediately fall back to cover off where the 2 previous kills came in. Still, though, it's a 3-on-3. They want to get down Ivy as well because there's guns in this position. Phelps has now picked up the AUG. There's a scout still down on the left as well, an op just in front of him. Backtracks. Jacob's aware if the smoke's off to forward hell, he needs to make sure that that op stays on the ground. So far, he's not sure of it. He'll check, and check again, and now he sees it, he'll hold the angle. If he didn't see it, he may have elected to fall off of it, thinking that they already grabbed it and got away, but instead, he sneaks in and he makes the play. It's Phelps that's standing with his back turned, never knowing he would arrive so late. Now it's only pistols over toward B, and JKS, he's been fashioned in this position the entire round. Cold will have to be quite impressive. I think tried to mask the fact that he dropped a little late to hit the shot, but still he gets a second, but not enough with Azar on the flank.
They were trying to run the timer down there and leave Cold 0 of no money. At that point, he gets the kill. Yeah, they're starting to think let's just send this now before he does something unbelievable. But it's 9-1. That's an unbelievable scoreline here. MIBR do not look that competitive so far on Train. They will finally get the AWP out on one of the most iconic snipers of CSGO history in round number 11. That is just gobstopping. I'm not really sure why that's happening. It's unbelievable. We'll see whether this is going to be where they can actually start showing us what they're made of on Train. It's round number 11, and finally they have the sniper rifle they need. Flashbangs in towards main entrance, and now Fallen works towards Ivy. That's where Gratisfaction has usually been, but this time heads towards the inside area. Run boost over. We'll see now with Fallen. Will be able to detect any threat on the other side. There is a player there, but it's Liaz with the AUG, who shouldn't be challenging too aggressively here.
Tries to get back through the smoke. They now know that the op is certainly in his hands. It had to be a matter of time. Leas, he'll be forced off of it. Gratisfaction still on the other side. Op up close, and we know he's comfortable taking this fight. He's done it many times so far in this half, with notable success as well. Thought that gun barrel might actually get spotted, but now the execution in front of the site. Jacob's got better position, but it's traded off by Taco. Gratisfaction, he's gone back in. Very smart incendiary towards Sandwich because he knows there's no one watching that side yet again. Did he spot the player jumping across? It was visible, but was his eyes elsewhere? Was he watching the radar? Fallen instead. He'll get one, but it's traded off, and Grat has the angle. Grat knows it too. All on Fallen. Finally gets his gun in hands. But the round's still slipping away. 31 seconds, and they're watching this direction. They know he's over to try and recover the bomb. He can't slip it behind the train. That'll keep him out of the watchful gaze of Leas, who's up above. He won't be able to see this, won't be able to detect it, and Fallen even wants to force it out with the pistol. That makes it rather obvious. Still, he commits to the play. Gonna reach Leas? I don't think it will.
Nope. He's absolutely fine.
So he's still up there. Fallen might think that's clear. Even if he finds one toward long, yeah, he thinks it's wide open, and Leas was there the whole time.
Another fantastic round there from Renegades, and Fallen, we did say he gets that AWP, managed to get 2 kills. Nice idea, good awareness to drop the Molotov towards the heaven position, but the flames didn't quite reach. That's why he shot at the window to make sure the Molotov went as deep as it possibly could, but still wasn't enough. And Liaz managed to find a couple of kills towards Ivy, finishes it off with denying the plants. And once again, MIBR forced buying into the round. They need to get at least 4 here. As I bring out a couple of Galils, some AKs, and no one really turning up on the T side. It's Phelps 2-11, Taco 3-10, Burr 4-11. These are big names and key fraggers on the squad. It's all about Azar and Jacob though, doing great work, and Gratisfaction holding the connector. Strong as ever with that AWP. JKS, what an anchor he is. Fantastic tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. And this map, especially after getting battered and bruised on Dust 2. Taco. He'll get 1. Nearly got away from him. He could have had 2 potentially if he was a little bit swifter on the trigger. Backs away as well, smokes down. At least they have the bomb in an established position, but Azza wants to get up the ladder. Fallen has to hold that. If he covers off the flank, they should be all right. Meanwhile, Taco's back to business. 4 HP, stays forward. Jacob was always going to find that, but it gives them the information as to how close he is. Smoke down. Fallen's gone away from it. Asa could actually catch them off. He's still in position to do so. Fallen's heard it. Good recovery. Turns around and takes him down. It's all to Leas. And Fallen's going to swing to the high side. Leas, he's got a kit to work with, but not enough time. Finally, MIBR gets one back, and he knows the situation. That gun's gone. That's going down with the bomb. Fallen's going to be the only gun saved in what is now a full reset.
That means they get $3,500 per player on the T side. Only one gun taken forward. It's not an AWP, it's an AUG. Renegades have not bucket loads of cash, but enough to get a full buy here. They'll have to drop and maybe take a pause just to distribute the weapons out efficiently. But MIBR buying up now. They've got AKs on 3 players. Taco, 1 flashbang, can't afford any other grenades. Fur, 1 smoke. Phelps, same story. It's Fallen who goes back to the Galil once again. They really have been hamstrung on this T side. It's round 13. We did say they need at least 4. This is a good start, but they lose this round. It is a full reset, and they probably won't get much more than 2. Renegades in the driving seat. Orbs out again, and there's no one to challenge him.
As again, we'll hold off on Ivy. Maybe this Veto had more in it than we knew. Maybe they were well aware, Renegades, that they were capable on this map and took Dust thinking they could win it in 2, catch them off. Boost up again on top of the server. Phelps angle. It should be a permanent kill every single time, and it is not tradable, so to speak. So there's no one else in a position. Grant will have to rotate back around. He plays old bomb, Jacob. He just wanted information. More than he wanted, I think, in the end.
That is bulldozing their way into bomb sites now. Stick is a 3-man unit. Phelps with the distraction towards Ivy. This is looking very good from IBR. And they might better break the money down as well. But if Gratisfaction saves his AWP, it could be enough to persuade them to force into the next round. 4 versus 1. He holds towards Ivy. And finally, MIBR looking like they can actually do something with this T-half. It's Fallen locking in the AWP towards that position. He might be able to take him down and get the AWP for himself. Gratisfaction, 13 kills for his name. He's going to need a few more here to stay alive. Holds towards Connector. Now spotted. Fallen will knife out and presumably make his way towards his position. But look at this movement. Great awareness, and he'll live to fight another day as he waits for more ensuing terrorists.
He's very swift. He leads the way on kills now with 15. 2 higher than all else, but he will lose the AWP in the end. He still makes it costly for MIBR, but importantly, they now win 2 in a row. They'll be able to buy, and they've broken Renegades down, which means they have potential to make this 10-5. Certainly something they can work with.
That's enough. 10-5. They're still feeling confident they can do it. Yes, it's been a very rough half, but this is usually how it goes. They didn't have the economy to really have any full buys. We didn't see the AWP until, what, round number 12? But if they can still make this work, win the pistol in the second half. It was the CT side back in the day, the SK Gaming golden era when they were so good on this map. It was their CT side, the aggression and the unpredictable gameplay that was so scary. As Taco will have the AWP this time, goes down the pop dog very quickly. Knows there's a player behind the E-box here, but will he get a chance to take him down? Bides his time, and Cold Zera somehow just eviscerates 2 in front of him. It's looking like he's on for a 3rd as well. He's not missing anything right now. Is he going for the ace? He does damage towards that connector, and now it's a 4-on-2, as there will be 1 frag, maybe a couple brought back. As Azat will deny the plant, but not much else. 10-4.
Not much else at all. Fur's easily able to cover off Z Connector. So here we go. This is it for MIBR. 11-4 is doable, but it's a lot harder if the economy even slips away slightly. Start of the half or otherwise. CT side especially. 5 gives them a very reasonable chance. There will not be an AWP for Gratisfaction. He'll have to sit with the AUG. No slouch on that either, though.
Certainly not. I don't think anyone is this tournament. It's been a massive talking point. Just Lee has the M4, 4 AUGs, no kits, but they have got utility. Will we see a nice little aggressive push here? Try and get that information. Get the first frag, Taco! Aware that Jacob was going to push through, but can't land the all-important shot. Did they steal away the AWP? I don't think so. Fallen's got his eyes on him.
He certainly does. He's lit it ablaze as well. Meanwhile, Cold. Jacob's got another. He rotates back in. Fallen. He timed that to perfection. He absolutely does. I swear, you let him have his way, he'll tear you apart. Jacob gets absolutely ripped inside a pop dog. And he got the AWP. He timed that so well. Flames and Extinguish, grabs the AWP, drops again. Done.
There's not many players that can use the AWP like Fallen. Close range is where he does his most impressive work. That shot is no different, and now this is winnable for them. They still have a smoke, a Molotov, but Fallen wants another frag before they commit. He's heading towards inside by himself. AWP in hand, but there's so many angles to check. Will he be aware as to where JKS resides? He will now. 16 HP, has to fall back.
This is war. Fallen's gonna hold it off. Low HP, 16, but he has the AWP. Grat's gonna rotate back around as well, and he spots one toward E-Box. That gives Leyaz the information. Perfect bait, as he was up above, not peeking, and he knew full well that he had the similar angle, but a higher side of it, and he had the fight. Smoke goes down, Fallen wants back in. Phelps can't do anything about it. Fallen's gotta do it all. Spectacular kill at the start, comes shy in the end. 11 for Renegades at the half.
We said they needed 4. They have at least got that, but that was a difficult half for MIBR. They couldn't get their finances rolling. They couldn't continue any momentum, but it's an impressive start from Renegades after the huge deficit they received on Dust 2. They're fighting back here on Train. Will they close it out early or will we go the full distance? You're gonna have to find out after this break.
Que fome boa, tamo preparada, pede iFood numa boa. Tem pra qualquer fome, já me deu água na boca. Tem pra todo mundo, tem pra sua turma toda. A fome é pesada, vira madrugada, larica bateu chegando na quebrada. Ela pede um iFood bem relaxada, quem não pira no beat também pede gás. Tá pronta pra pizza, já pede na pista. Olha que ousadia. Que fome boa, tem pra todo mundo, mate a fome nessa fome. Tem pras amiguinhas, tem pra sua turma toda. Tamo preparada, pede iFood numa boa. Bateu aquela fome boa de carnaval? Pede um iFood.
Don't look down, never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out. Never fade out. And I'll take it, yeah. Reminding myself to just let go.
For Renegades in the lead. It's a lead, but is it going to last? MIBR go over to the CT side. We know they're capable of some very dirty things on Train. Do they have it in them, though? Can they pull it back? Can they get a pistol to get the money to do so?
Something tells me, yes, they do. They picked this map for a reason. They had a really up and down T-side, mostly down, to be honest, but towards the end, they started to get it together. We'll see if they can win the pistol as we head into the second half now. Just one player anchoring towards inside. Of course, that's Taco. 5 players above Popdog right now. They have got smokes and flashbangs here, and they will head towards inner. Taco will be backed up by Furhold towards the connector right now. Most common approach at this point would be smoke down lower ramp, flash over, go for the plant, and try and push towards the connector and shut down the rotations. That's what I can see so far. The fact they've got 5 players inside the brown halls, I think that's exactly what's going to happen, but we'll see. There's the smoke, actually goes towards the connector instead of down lower ramp. Still more of the same though, and Fer will be looking to challenge as he steps up, hits the first headshot, no problem at all. Can he find more? Oh my god, yes he can. It's going to be 3 kills for MIBR and just 1 player remaining.
The 3rd kill for Fer. Phelps takes down JKS. It's exactly the start they wanted. No bomb plant either, so they won't have to worry about too much from Renegades forcing into this next round. Hopefully as well, that means they can build their economy. Again, you mentioned it, Fallen didn't have the op very much on the T side. They want to try and get it on his hands as much as possible this half.
They know the significance of that pistol victory now. I don't think Renegades are forced by in the second round. They're looking at the bigger picture. They didn't need to steal rounds away. They just need to play their game, bring out the AKs and make sure they're dropping their strategies, and we know they can play this map. So full eco here, probably another inside play. We talked about this in the first half. Taco this time with, I assume, an MP9. Yes, he's got one of those. Perfect weapon to shut down an inside push. So you want to play actually close to the A ramp, or the B ramp, I should say, on this particular round because you want to deny the plant. That's the aim of the game here for Taco.
As they're waiting with the flash to try and bust them inside. He's got Fer to help him. Blinded as he is, he still fires in, tapping even. Works out. This goes down, Taco swinging. He'll find out Jacob before even the flank could arrive from Phelps, and trust me, it was. He was on the ramp already. It's now 11-6.
Now this begs the question, Matt. They've got 3 MP9s.
Yes.
They want to upgrade one of them, or I have casted all of MIBR games in my time. When they have these sort of setups, they like to push inside ramp. They like to challenge the main entrance or potentially Ivy. I would suggest those 3 MP9s go for a little gambit towards the lower ramp, something like that. You can't really play a static default CT setup with 3 MP9s. Someone has to get an AK, start applying pressure to the Renegades so they can't run a full default. You can't essentially let the Ts fully execute and run their default here. We'll see what happens. Doesn't seem to be initial push, but coldzera is going down towards Ivy, and a couple of players are getting ready at main entrance. This is what they're going to try and do with these MP9s now. Flash goes in, and they're looking for headshots, but no one there to receive them.
It's not a bad shout to go in toward A main as well.
Oh, what?
How did he quick switch that fast?
It was Fallen that saved them.
Oh, it was over top of him. I thought it was the up-close player. I thought it was Phelps. Phelps gets the AK for it, Fallen. That's stunning from on top of the train.
Now Phelps has the AK. That's exactly what they wanted to do there. Get control of one part of the map, upgrade an MP9.
And you said Ivy or Halls, nothing wrong with either of those positions. Easy to use utility to get yourself into. But by going A main, sure, a bit more difficult. There's more angles when you walk through that garage door. But you're in the middle of the map as well. You can actually rotate off of it. You can take the information. They get a gun, they get a kill. That's the best possible scenario.
They had to make that work as well. This is looking very good. Not only did they have the man advantage, Phelps, a very strong rifler, now has an AK-47, but he does get caught out slightly. Drops the smoke and buys himself a little bit of time. They're coming out of the main entrance right now. He's got a shooting gallery in front of him as they trade blows outside.
Sningy's back in. That sandwich. Smoke down, wants to look under it. Gratisfaction holds behind. Flash out. He gave the position up because JKS was next in and wanted to hold it as well. They will eventually pursue and run him down. That opens up the option of going back up the ladder. Gratisfaction's eyes glanced that way momentarily. It was a possibility, but they'll flash back in. All 3 are still here. 2 MP9s, the AUG for Fer. He's the one that really has to control the situation, and he's so far removed. 17 seconds, though. They swing. Ah, it's too late now. They could have potentially done damage with the MP9s. Information will do for Fer, though, if he gets closer. If he gets brought in with these MP9s doing battle and no one suspects his arrival, he'll punish them. Taco making noise on the train, just jumping around exactly that reason. And here comes Fer, finds one. He'll look back out toward A main as well, but he's punished. JKS gets it back, and unfortunately now the round looks to fall apart as Gratisfaction can just control the bomb. Not only that, he's got JKS working back in. They play the time, and they'll play the round to 12.
Well held by Renegades. They lose that first pick. It goes down to a 5-on-4, but they stay calm, they stay patient. They wait for the opportunity to fully execute towards outside. Good use of flashbangs and trading the frags towards that bomb site. It comes down to coldzera, who had to try and challenge in the 2 versus 1. Only had the MP9 though. And we get into round number 19. There still is a buy for the Brazilians here to go for 5 orgs. Once again, struggling to bring out that early AWP. Renegades do answer back. It's now 2-1 in the second half. But if they can win this round, they have a chance to close this out early. That's a big if.
Phelps sprays back through. Not often do we see those shots do much. They can certainly be annoying.
Yeah, normally against the eco players, we'll see a kill or 2. Oh, that's not bad. Nice grenade.
Softens them up. Taco falls off of it, Molotov down. He'll pop flash himself back in. Took a bit of damage from the flames, but it was very well timed. Only manages one, however. Cold will do more. Swings back around bomb, he knows it's down, slows the aim, and slows the round. It's 12-7 and a reset Renegades.
So Taco only gets one, but that flashbang causes so much disruption there. They've got 3 players blind, there's flames down as well, multiple CTs ready to engage as soon as they commit, and it's a very clean one from MIBR. That was must win in my book. If they lost that, they were going to be fully reset. It would have been 13-7 and had Eco against them. And indeed, ladies and gentlemen, a bit quiet today. Let's make some noise. This is a quarterfinal after all. Renegades now feeling the pressure. They're the ones without the cash, and MIBR creeping back into this game. Glocks are out for now as they discuss their options. Kassad, very intelligent Counter-Strike mind. We'll see what he can come up with. I don't think they'll invest much here. They are going to get $1,900 on top of what they have right now into the next round. So that's enough to actually get a decent buy together, considering they're all hovering around just over 2K right now. There will be compromises. They might want to take the force buy and take a couple of ecos after that, or go for the victory now. It looks like they'll take the full eco though as we get into round number 20. Nothing purchased. There's a deagle from Jacob and a flashbang. As we said though, normally towards inside in these sort of rounds, just to try and sneak in a plan.
I'll leave the bomb behind intentionally. So sneaking in a plant won't be the name of the game thus far. It'll be try and find a pick, maybe get a gun. As already backing off toward T-spawn though, I presume he'll pick that up and eventually they will fall into line. This is MIBR's map again. We mentioned it because now that they have momentum, nothing is sacred for Renegades. Just 5 to go and they're back into it. They'll be knotted up. Deuces. It's Jacob. Hoping for the best. Couple of shots down Ivy. Here we go though with down to 57 seconds. He'll go gather back around. Actually gonna go toward A main. Still no one's going for the bomb. I would have thought by now, okay, Asa will.
They're just trying to bleed out their utility here. Just try and make this expensive in one regard for the CTs. They can bleed out all the incendiaries, the smokes, which has actually been very successful so far. They might not find many kills, but at least they'll affect the bank accounts in that regard. So here they go, towards outside. This has been an agonizing round in terms of the length of it. It won't yield many results, but it all counts. The fact they actually took so many grenades from them, maybe get a plant as well. This could be actually pretty promising. It doesn't go down, but a valiant attempt there. They get no kills, but man, that's actually not too bad.
A couple of smokes lost.
And now they have to decide in round number 21. If they want to buy up here, they've got 3 players underneath that 4K mark. I think another partial buy should be coming forward here. As Phelps looking confident.
Yeah, I think you have to. It's still going to be a 3-round spread. If you don't do that, you yourself have to consider that the enemy is closer than you are to your goal. In other words, they'll be 3 rounds behind and you still have 4 rounds to go. Think long-term still.
Yeah. So just Eagles, some CZs, always have potential to win these sort of rounds, especially with the smokes available to them. They definitely have some executions up their sleeve. As they try to bait out some shots towards pod, they'll get the information if there's any CTs on the other side.
Oh,
wow. Ouch.
Oh, Fur, when he saw that second one come down, his heart would have sank. What can he possibly do? If he runs forward, they just shoot him in the head.
Luckily, he's playing train, though, so he can fall back, way back, towards the hitches, towards positions like connector, and he'll still have a pretty good advantage. It's lucky for glass cannon AWPers, especially. They can display it defensively, and HP is not a massive issue, but still a minute to go, and Renegades have done some significant damage.
Gather again. This time there is a bit more utility held, so the last smoke, take it back, the second last smoke, there's one for Fur. Taco just threw his. The last one they have left is on Fur, and he currently is on B. This will be A execution and hoping for the plant. Phelps again, Trying to get toward the ladder. He'll go back up into control room now. Fallen calls certainly that he spotted multiple inside of A main. Did they spot Jacob go back though? They're so distracted. Good thing Cold considers it, looks around, spots bomb as well, knows now that he just has to hold off Sandwich, so falls further off the angle toward the green train, and that gives Fallen the shot. Speaking of shots, JKS, 1 HP. Nearly got one against Phelps, but for the second round in a row, MIBR keep all 5 alive.
MIBR doing it. They're creeping back into this game. Nothing is safe against them on the CT side. They're currently up 5-1 now. You can see the pressure starting to mount on the Renegades side. It's never over. Even a convincing scoreline, even a 13-2, still wouldn't have been enough to convince me that MIBR were going to go down without a fight here. They're sticking on the 5 orgs. They've got enough to bring out the AWP, but I guess they're looking at the bigger picture. This is working for now. We're winning all these rounds, but there is a change coming forward. Gratisfaction does have the AWP now. So will we see another fast approach from MIBR? Fights towards inside, perhaps. There's going to be Taco by himself, bravely gets a grenade in there, and indeed, they are hunting for some kills here. They know the money's back in favor for Renegades as they push forward. I think Az has got a couple here, potentially. I don't believe it. How has Fur made that kill work?
Fallen gonna get boosted. Rather boost instead. Cold's gonna go up. They're gonna, oh, Gratisfaction. I was gonna say they're gonna get a second. It didn't look like he was ready at all. It didn't look like he was up for battle. Stays alive on 28 HP. Jacob's already gotten inside of the ladder room. This starts to look very good. Despite that they lost the early kill, it still looks good because they've got Ivy, and they can press the issue from either side of the outer site. Alm still waits back toward the dumpster. They'll gather that now, surely. But that's a nice retake, and I say retake because it is. The CTs have to get back in toward Pop Dog. Nade goes back down. They presume what we've seen. That exactly what they wanted is what they achieved. They get a player inside. JKS and Jacob start to rotate off. Remember, though, Fur is back over on this B site with Taco. It's no longer the solo hold.
The bomb's all the way back at T-spawn for now. This should be somewhat sort of a fake.
Wow, I thought it was looking toward Ivy. He's just setting up for smoke, so you're right. This could be the fake.
So with 20 seconds remaining, the inside fake, and the CTs are pushing up behind them. Oh my goodness, it's Phelps who gets him down to 1 HP.
It's fine. It's fine, even though he doesn't get the... Oh, there he is. That's everything they needed. Because even though he was on the ladder and couldn't get the kill, he fell off the angle. He could still hold them at bay, but he gets caught off. Sharks in the water, and Renegades on the site with just enough time. Bomb, 1 second will get planted. Taco works his way back in, at least finds JKS. Fur's still lurking. He's still not convinced he's completely alone toward Pop Dog, but Taco's found angles. He's got everything going his way, and that's exactly when Fur comes back into the picture.
MIBR barely flinch as they fend off the fake towards inside. They rotate towards the outside bomb site there. Like you said, Renegades have 1 second on the plant. A valiant attempt there. Nice idea, well executed, but MIBR well too aware. These guys are absolute veterans. They've seen it all, and they were ready to shut that one down. It's Phelps who gets the initial information there. Goes up the ladder, somehow survives. So this kill was astonishing, just to note. It was Phelps that gives the call. It is a fake, and Taco holds strong towards that connector. Picks him off 1 by 1. This is a really nice play from him. Stays calm, doesn't overcommit to the spray, and manages to close out the round. Bomb planted. Loss bonus racking up again. It's only a 4th stage here, so another partial buy as MIBR claw back round by round. First time we'll see a fallen orb, by the way.
Yeah, they haven't really needed it yet. They definitely,
the CT side.
Exactly. They definitely would love to have it in his hands, but because they've been so effective and so efficient, they've just been keeping guns up.
Yeah, well, every time he has the opportunity to buy, he's like, well, they're eco now. I probably shouldn't. Should I just get the rifle again? It's working, so fair play.
Yeah, exactly. But now he'll bring it to play. As we say, it doesn't often find a kill that you fire through the wooden windows, but it can be a nuisance. It's one of those shots that's just worth considering. There's an Azza rotating back in as well to join with the rest of the team. Fast plant needs to be the goal this time. It is going to be a full 5-round loss bonus. It's only on 4 this time, but a bomb plant on top of that, and they'll be set pretty for whatever they'd like. 5 ops if they wanted. Not that you would. For Taco. Starting to become a bit of a 1-2 punch. We saw JKS was so effective holding this solo in the first half. We know that Taco was very effective holding B solo on Dust in the first map, but he's got Fur with him, and things have been going so well, they might as well leave him there, certainly against Pistols as well, because if he gets overrun, they don't want to give up a bomb plant unless they have to. So Fur's life lost, but the round certainly won, and Gratisfaction forced off of it. Phelps was able to get the angle on rotation.
Now this is why they picked Train. It all makes sense now. They had a rough start on the T side. It happens to the best of them, absolutely. They couldn't get their finances going. They made some mistakes with their executions, but you can see the CT side is looking pretty clinical right now. Renegades still in the lead. It's 12-11 on their T side, but they've only posted one round in the second half. Renegades 11-4 at half. Right now, the door is wide open for Mibr to jump through it. Gratisfaction brings out the AWP. He's got 22 frags to his name, but not many of them have come from this half.
Fallen already getting aggressive. Op didn't have to do anything last round, this time against the guns. He wants to force his hand. Almost as though it's been missing something in the first half. He's keen to prove a point. Gratisfaction's certainly been impressive to go against it. There is a wealth of young oppers coming through the scene now that are...
Oh, yes.
We used to say, okay, great, Gratisfaction, great, new on the scene. Hooray, you got to go against Fallen, no chance. Nowadays, we see a new opper, Zywoo. We come through and we think, there's a chance they could win this battle. There's so much more talent.
Yeah, lots of young and exciting players appearing at this event, and I'm sure 2019 we're going to unearth a few more as well. Here's Jacob, though. He's an old veteran, actually finding his form at this tournament and showing the world he can still compete with the very best of them as he heads out towards the Ivy position. Phelps fully aware of it.
Cold's going to rotate around, though. They won't actually going to wait for the smoke timing, and it's a good thing that he does because he now needs to fill the void of where Phelps previously stood. He can't do it, but Fallen, he gets the nade in. Still they sit, level aside. As they're waiting on the smoke, but they're gonna go above it. Trying to deny the bomb, they just got him! Taco just got him in time! That causes problems. There's 30 seconds left on the clock, so they'll get the bomb back down, but the post plant is certainly not favorable. Az is gonna take matters into his own hands. Back up on top, does he realize Taco's still above?
I'm not sure.
Doesn't even care. He's gonna back out and play the long game, and it's the right call. Spotted nonetheless. Do they know where JKS is? Out toward Hell. And Fur's looked there, but he's looked away. Smoke on the bomb. 2 to play off of this. Taco's still holding on ticket, and they want the high ground. That's what's the lineup. JKS thinks they're on it inside of it. It gives them away. Smartly, they backed off. It's 12-12. They have pulled this back.
Fur couldn't have played that any better there. They know they got the advantage of the 2 versus 1. Yes, JKS, one of the best clutches at this tournament so far. If you drop the smoke on the bomb, touch it, he has to react. He can't assume that's a fake. He has to at least inspect the situation. That's exactly what they wanted. Taco, though, for me, what a play that is. He sprays towards a floor. First 10 bullets don't connect. Transfers towards the actual bomb train itself, denies the plant, and that throws an absolute spanner in the works there. As you go to round number 25, Mibr have actually done it. They tied things up after 11-4 half against them. It's now 12-12. Renegades with maximum loss bonus did get the bomb down. They will have another buy here, but it's all on the line now. They lost the first map 16-7, and now find themselves looking down the barrel of tournament elimination at the hands of the Brazilians here. They haven't found much success in this first half at all. The pressure starting to mount. The furthest they've ever got at a major. It could all come crashing down in the next few rounds. They need to step up. Have they found the answers here?
And they watched the endearing story events yesterday, and that would have absolutely lifted their spirits coming into this, thinking they could do the same. Fortunately, so far, it hasn't proved to be. Fallen back over toward the A side. They'll double up with utility toward A main, and again, he wants to get this off directly in their face. Cold as well wants to get aggressive. Not common, you see a rifle get up behind that box, but what a position it is. So long as he's not flashed and he's ready for the wide side peek. He's committed at that point as well, though, keep in mind. As soon as anyone goes down that hall, there's more than one. Even if Cold finds the first, he has nowhere to hide. He has to fight and therefore be efficient. That flash gives him a chance, though. That's quite creative. Taco's going to do the same. They've thought this through.
Yeah, this is really interesting. If they can time this well, there's potentially 3 kills available for Cold Zero. The flashbang has to be spot on. It's good! But Jacob somehow hits it, completely blind. They were fully aware of that play. Wow.
That is so impressive. I'd love to see Jacob's POV, because if they were crosshair perfectly placed on the box, that's one thing. If he was looking toward the corner, it may have just been a little bit fortunate that it's a similar angle, but either way, it's caught them out. Cold would have been hoping that they were up a little bit further than that. Phelps will spot one. Damage applied, but only just. Jacob gets away, and there's 3 up above that ladder. So even if they do go for 1, they can nade him out. They've been doing this multiple times. Smartly, he read that because they've done it so much. He got away, back in. They had to go together. They had to look for trades, and they were a bit careless in doing so. So it'll be the totem drop. Potentially it is, and they'll get 1 back with it.
It was looking a little bit scrappy towards that pop dog area. Now there's only 20 seconds remaining. Can they commit towards outside? 2 players towards a pop dog. Time running out. Good HE from Fallen. And he's going to do a ton of damage with it as he looks towards main entrance. I thought he was going to hit that, but still chance for more. There's the bomb. It goes down.
He's got that already. Nearly got the 1 up on top of Blue Train as well, but he's got problems now because they're on all sides of him. He still hit Azza, but there was 2 going the other way, and with 2 seconds, though, they can't plant it. Fur lives out, and that wins the round alone. It's the lead for MIBR.
Fallen is showing us why he's considered one of the all-time greats of the AWP. He misses a couple, but he hits the one that really counts there. The bomb goes down, time runs out, and it's JKS and Liaz are going with no money into that next round. Unbelievable. It's 13-12 MIBR, and somehow he makes that work. Here's the replay of Jacob. He gets flashed, and it wasn't even aiming at him. It was like a stray bullet while moving. That's pretty remarkable. But there you go. Sometimes it's luck that can help you out as they have to take a partial buy here. MIBR just pulling out all the stops when it matters.
Pops backs off. I give up Ivy this time, single smoke down, but it's, again, Taco and Fur aligned at B, and it is heading that direction, fastest plant possible. Single smoke, jump out from ramp, potentially get it in position before anyone can do anything about it, even with utility or elsewise. Taco still holds with that AWP. It's certainly heading his direction. You take the aim. Perfect shot from Taco. Shoulder bait.
It's going to scare them off as well. They can't just flood out the upper ramp now, knowing there's an AWP there. They've got a couple of flashbangs, 1 smoke. They are going for it. There's the smoke and the incendiary behind it. That's genius. And it segregates all of them. They're taking so much damage here. Into the meat grinder they go. It's Taco waiting on the other side. They will get a plant out of this, but the looks of things, they need that. It's a 4 versus 2. Maybe there's a chance they can win this.
Just enough of that single kill on Fur was all they needed to get that bomb down. Gratisfaction. Fallen looks for a little bit more. No chance he was going to win the round at that point anyway. And MIBR find 14, but the bomb going down is a little bit of salvation for Renegades because it's more money in their pockets and they desperately need that now. But what's the answer? They have not have one at all. They've had, what, 3rd round, that's it. And that was a bonus round for MIBR. The full gun rounds, they haven't won a single one yet.
14-12. Double orb set up now, of course. Taco, great job towards inside. So good, he's not the flashiest AWP, he doesn't do the craziest clutches with it, but he hits the shots that really count. As I said, that pressure's starting to mount now, JKS starting to show it. As we get into round 27. They've only got 1 round on their T side so far. It's been an epic tournament for Renegades, but to go out in this fashion will be gutting for them. They had this map, it felt like it was theirs. After getting crushed on Dust 2, a resurgence was on the cards. They got it. They've fallen. He's got into 5th gear here, right at the last moments of train. Hits that shot fully blind, of course. Does he live? Of course he does. It looks so good for MIBR right now.
Can't follow it up this time. As it gets 2 back, and it's the 2 players on that side. That opens up the lane. Further that with Phelps falling, and it's all to Taco. He gets back in. He's followed it as well. Az is gone. Gratisfaction's the one with the ball, but he's got to do it all with an AWP, and that's not going to happen. MIBR find map and series point.
A faster approach from the T side there. Renegades can't break down the defense, though. The double orbs finding all the kills, and then Gratisfaction in the 2 versus 1. No information, so many angles to look at. The bomb was down. He had to go for it. Taco has really come to life here. He was known as a support player throughout his tenure within this roster. He's anything but right now. He's looking like he's leading the charge as he actually top frags with 23 and 15. Great stuff from him. As they find series point now. Timeout for Renegades. They need 3 in a row on the T side of train just to stay alive in the tournament. That will get us to overtime. Surely this can't be done, but they are the kings of the comeback. We've seen it many times from them before.
Well, this is a game that got away from them. The king of the comeback this time, MIBR. Remember, they were 11-4 down. It's 12-15. Double up again. Taco. Pretty solid on it. Great return to MIBR for him. In fact, tied for the lead with Fur on 23. Fallen just behind at 22. That's your 2 oppers. And it's not like they've had it a lot, so they've been finding success on all facets. Aggressive again, Cold. He goes out toward Ivy. Flash not there yet, but did throw a nade just to see if they were up close. 3 players on the other side of it. Probably not the best decision if he were to commit. Does he get back before the smoke fades? He could stay there the whole time. In fact, he'll just add to that. Secondary smoke, keep him in the position. And this time, Fallen will call for Cold to get away. There's not another smoke they can put there, so he gets back to the cubby instead. Nades will go immediately by him, and the fact that he spotted 2 nades confirms that there's 2 there. And I almost feel sorry for what Cold's gonna do, because they had no idea he was in the corner. He steps back out, and he absolutely takes the round away. Likely the series. Cold on 4. He's come down with a sickness they don't have the cure for. And he's looking for the ace just to shut it out. They're even gonna let him. They're all standing there saying, go for it, buddy. Either way, this is done. Renegades will bow out now. Legends, but no further.
You gotta respect it. You can't deny these guys are legends of the game. They progressed towards the semi-finals. 11-4 down a half, but there was no doubt in my mind they could bring a comeback to the table there. Fantastic stuff. And commiserations to Renegades. This is the highest they've ever placed at a major. They can hold their heads high. This hard work, this grit and determination has shown itself at this event. No one expected them to make it to the top 8, and they stunned the world with that.
Impressive. There's certainly a story there, and it's absolutely something to be proud of. Sure, this game may not have gone their way, but they will get to come back to the next major, and they'll have more time to prepare for it. They get the easy road. They get to show up at the round of 16. As for MIBR, this is more like it. This is back to what we expect. They are absolutely in the mix right now. Astralis and IP come up next. Either of those teams, this is a warning shot to them.
Caras jogaram fino, mano.
Absolutely a team to be feared. Sean Gares coming into
Os caras jogaram fino, rapaziada.
Overcoming adversity on train. They did have to start on that notorious T side, but that didn't stop.
Mano, eu pensei que ia dar ruim, velho.
Eu
pensei que ia dar ruim, eu pensei que ia acontecer no mapa, mano. E Australis versus NiP é jogão também, porque a Australis, vocês estão ligados. Astralis tá, nossa, mano. Vai ser jogão, mano. Eu falo que essa semifinal, a próxima semifinal vai ser Mibr e Astralis. Pra mim, acho que vai ser dos jogos mais pesados do campeonato. Então, rapaziada, vai ter o jogo da Astralis e da Astralis e NiP. Eu também vou estar fazendo live, tá? Vai estar ao vivo aí no canal, beleza, rapaziada? Muito obrigado aí. Velho, acho que é 3 a 3,5 o jogo, beleza? Vamos nessa. Obrigado a todos aí de coração mesmo, velho.